Yemo couldn't see through this illusion formation despite being level 9 formation Grandmaster Peak. Yemo couldn't see through this illusion formation despite being level 9 formation Grandmaster Peak. Yemo was planning to choose a direction based on his sixth sense and find the end of the pile of sand soul beasts' bodies. That should be where he came in. But when he was about to choose, he found that both directions had this calling for him to go over. Yemo settled his mind and didn't dare to think about it. His gaze fell upon the shattered road. The reason he didn't hack the tablet was because he had the feeling that he must not do that. If Yemo didn't guess wrong, all this was set up by Lu Jingquan. He knew the sapling was taken, but he didn't come down. It's not that the sapling wasn't important, but he couldn't come down. Thus he released the sand soul beasts. He was probably prepared to come down a few hundred years later. It was best to find the way that guy would come back and block that road. Yemo shook his head. He knew that was probably very hard. He moved his gaze to the tablet. It just appeared there suddenly, and gave him an impulse to destroy it. This definitely didn't come from his heart, it was affected by the illusion formation. This was very abnormal. Why did the illusion formation want him to destroy it? Even with his firm mental state, he almost fell for it. At this moment, Yemo found that the blue stone road disappeared once again. He was just standing on fine sand and there were endless sand soul beasts' bodies here. However, the shattered pieces of the road didn't disappear. The stone tablet was still derelict in the sands. Yemo was very calm this time. Just when Yemo wanted to take a piece of the blue rock into his golden page world to study if it was real or an illusion, he saw a piercing light shine before him. He subconsciously took a few steps back and a round light pillar appeared on the rock he hacked. Yemo had a bad feeling and wanted to release Zisu to hack that pillar, but he heard a laughter. A golden-robed cultivator appeared and then light pillar disappeared. Yemo found that those blue rock pieces had turned gray. Hollow Immortal? Yemo saw this cultivator's cultivation essence wave was completely different to his but quite similar to that Qingxing. The golden cultivator looked coldly at Yemo and a blue run appeared on him. Then, he released a green spear. He shook his hands and the spear turned into a green strand. Yemo saw this strand wasn't coming for him but the Netherworld Road stone tablet. He immediately had a very bad feeling. Without hesitation, he hacked out Zisu with full power blocking the attack. Rumble. In a huge explosion, purple and green rays splashed everywhere. Clear void fissures appeared in the space. Tens of space wind blades shot out. Yemo wouldn't even care if they hit him, it wouldn't even tear open his armor, but at this moment, Yemo had the feeling he should dodge these space wind blades. Without hesitation, he dodged those space wind blades and stood before the stone tablet. He just shattered a blue rock and a hollow immortal was teleported here. What would happen if he shattered the stone tablet? The golden-robed cultivator was surprised to see Yemo not sent flying after clashing with him. Since when was there such a powerful cultivator in the cultivation realm? Even though his power was suppressed a little in the cultivation realm, and couldn't use his full power, but he was still a hollow immortal. Even though his cultivation essence didn't completely convert to immortal essence, he was still an immortal. No wonder you dare to touch Master's thing, so you think you're strong. The golden-robed cultivator sneered. Yemo asked heavily. If it because I shattered a blue rock and thus you came down? The golden-robed cultivator said calmly. You're not dumb. On account of your power, if you're willing to serve the Heaven Lord and hand over what does not belong to you, perhaps the Heaven Lord Master will consider letting you live. Yemo said. Why do you want to smash this tablet as soon as you come down? Would there be more powerful people coming down then? The golden-robed cultivator sneered. That's not something you should care about, do you agree or disagree? Keep dreaming, if you want to be Lu Jingquan's dog it's your business, don't bring me into it. Yemo sneered. Yemo was testing, he wasn't certain if this was related to Lu Jingquan. So you did it, kid, why did Qingxing die? Did you take it? The golden-robed cultivator showed a cruel look as though he was about to tear Yemo apart. Yemo released a low-grade cultivation artifact shield and said in contempt, If you want to fight then fight, cut the talk. Hearing this, the golden-robed cultivator furious. A mere truth realization state level 8 dared to say this to him. His spear brought a green flame and struck at Emo. Before the spear arrived, the flame already burned space, cracking. To him, that low-grade cultivation artifact shield was like nothing. His spear flame could easily melt it. This strike was much more powerful than his previous strike. Emo could the dominating force of the spear, and it seemed all the space around him was under this space. However, Emo had a strange feeling. This strike surpassed all the cultivators Emo had ever fought, and it gave him this sudden enlightenment. Zissou hacked out, but this time, it didn't have any purple ray. At the start, the golden-robed cultivator was sneering. He knew Emo was not bad to be able to block his casual attack, but this wasn't his casual attack. Moments later, his face changed. Emo's strike brought a killing force around him. That endless killing intent swept at him. It was an ordinary strike at the beginning, but when he felt the killing force and killing intent of the strike had formed its sword force. That powerful force seemed to point at his weakest spot. He was a hollow immortal cultivator, and yet he showed fear towards a truth realization state cultivator. The golden-robed cultivator was ashamed. He released a brick-shaped defense magic artifact without hesitation. The spear attacked even faster. He was going to kill Emo before his sword force was completed. Even if he couldn't kill Emo had to defend against it. The brick magic artifact instantly turned to 10-meter size and completely protected the hollow immortal. Emo's strike had to bypass this golden brick no matter what. Emo was expressionless. The sword force and killing intent of Zissou was growing stronger and stronger. He had a feeling that this strike was completely different to Illusion Cloud sword technique. But his desire to this strike was extremely strong. Emo was going to hack it down no matter what. The golden-robed cultivator had a very bad feeling, but the only thing he could do was activate his spear faster. Crack! The spear hit the low-grade cultivation artifact, and it was like a cracked open like dried paper. The golden-robed cultivator rejoiced. He knew Emo was over. There was no way Emo could live being burned by the green flame. But when the golden-robed cultivator saw that Emo still had no intentions of dodging, he had a bad feeling, but he didn't know what exactly it was. Emo should be trying to avoid it at all costs, and not try to attack him. Rumble. Zissou hacked onto the golden brick, and the purple ray that didn't come out finally activated when Zissou struck the golden brick. Thud. The golden-robed cultivator's green spear struck Emo at the same time. Green flames spilled, and the flame instantly engulfed Emo. The instant his green spear pierced Emo, the golden-robed cultivator knew he was tricked. Emo's body was on par with low-grade immortal artifact, and with his cultivation essence protection, his green spear only pierced a few centimeters and was stuck in the bone. The instant his green spear pierced Emo, the golden-robed cultivator knew he was tricked. Emo's body was on par with low-grade immortal artifact, and with his cultivation essence protection, his green spear only pierced a few centimeters and was stuck in the bone. What shocked him the most was that Emo was unaffected by the green flame, but soon, he realized what was going on. A faint purple flame rose about Emo's body, completely separating the green flame. It even started to devour the green flame. Purple mist, lotus heart fire! The golden-robed cultivator called out in shock. He completely didn't believe that a cultivation realm cultivator had a purple heaven flame. The most powerful cultivation realm cultivator he saw had an aqua heaven flame, but now he saw purple heaven flame. A lot of immortal realm cultivators didn't even have this. Emo had gone through the torture of body refinement. The damage of the spear would be unbearable to ordinary cultivators, but Emo didn't seem to feel it. He inserted his cultivation essence like crazy into Zissou. Crack! When purple sword rays splashed, a crack opened on the purple brick but quickly reduced in size. Splurge! The brick was hacked away, but Emo's sword light didn't stop. It sliced down from the golden-robed cultivator's shoulder. Blood flashed, and the golden-robed cultivator's shoulder was sliced off. Before it fell to the ground, the purple sword rays twisted the arm into a bloody mist. The golden-robed cultivator retreated a few steps in a pale face. He knew that it wasn't he couldn't beat Emo, but he was tricked. When he saw that his sword couldn't pierce Emo deeper, he knew Emo definitely was a God-state body refinement. A truth realization state level 8 who was this young and also a God-state body refinement. This would be extremely shocking even in the immortal realm, but he had to encounter it. If Emo wasn't a body refinement cultivator, that spear strike would have turned him into a bloody mist already. You're indeed very cunning, no wonder Qingxing would die to you. The golden-robed cultivator glared at Emo with fiery eyes. If possible, he would have eaten Emo alive now. He was a hollow immortal, but he was injured by a truth realization state cultivator. This was a huge insult. Emo ate a pill and ignored the hollow immortal's words. He felt regretful that he couldn't fully learn that new move as the instant he was pierced by the spear. That feeling disappeared. Pity you have no chance now. The golden-robed cultivator flung a black jade bottle into the air and spat some essence blood towards it. He used some hand signs and said softly, "Enter samsara." The black word, samsara, flew out of the jade bottle and gradually grew big until it covered all the space around here. A bleak wind started to rise, creating this faint whimpering sound. Suddenly, a temple appeared before Emo, and inside he held a charred bun. When he was about to eat it, the bun disappeared and an old man appeared before him. Ordinary spirit root, but he can be a pill concoction child at magical herb sect. The old man smiled and touched his head. Emo's heart was shook. He quickly used the 3-birth chant and woke up from it. He immediately knew this was a magic artifact to catalyze a heart demon tribulation, but this golden-robed cultivator used it on the wrong person. He cultivated the 3-birth chant and had the bitter bamboo. If he wasn't inside this illusion formation, he wouldn't even begin that thought. Seeing Emo daze, the golden-robed cultivator pressed his hand and the word was about to press on Emo's head. But at this moment, Emo suddenly opened his eyes and smiled at the golden-robed cultivator. The golden-robed cultivator instantly realized that Emo wasn't controlled by his samsara bottle. His face was shook. He didn't expect Emo was this absurdly powerful. The reason he wanted to break the tablet was not because he was scared of Emo, but the master ordered him. The master was going to come down personally and the tablet must be broken. Now, he realized Emo wasn't someone he could deal with. The golden-robed cultivator pulled down the rune from his body without hesitation. He didn't even take back his jade bottle. But before he could, Zissou already hacked out. The golden-robed cultivator instantly felt he was bound by his surroundings. He rushed his immortal essence out like crazy, wanting the laws of this realm to take him away. If he didn't try to run and use this green spear, he might be able to fight with Emo for a while and find a chance to run away. But now, it was impossible to leave from Emo's domain. Quite many times people have escaped from Emo due to immortal ascension. How could he not be alert now? Illusion Cloud domain kill strike struck out. Emo's domain connected with the sword domain, making the golden-robed cultivator even slower. But with the use of his immortal essence, he broke free from Emo's domain in less than a second. Sometimes, 1 second was very long and sometimes very short. For Emo, this second was enough. At this moment, the golden-robed cultivator realized his biggest mistake was to try and run immediately. But he realized too late, and that door-sized purple ray struck him. Blood mist sprayed out and at the same time, Emo summoned Shadowless. Shadowless dashed at the fleeing essence spirit instantly. This was a hollow immortal essence spirit. Emo was worried if it would be too much for Shadowless, but he already devoured it, and flew shakily towards Emo. Emo quickly sent Shadowless back into the golden page world before grabbing the broken brick and samsara bottle. Then, he picked up the green flame spear. However, Emo was confused that he didn't see a storage ring. He didn't know if it was that it couldn't be brought down or something. If he got the storage ring of a hollow immortal, there would be quite some immortal crystals from there. Emo sealed these things. He needed to quickly find a way out. What was this stone tablet? Why did the golden-robed cultivator want to break it immediately? Emo walked to the stone tablet, and the more he looked at it the more it seemed strange. Yemo waved his hand, wanting to take it into his golden page world to study, but then he realized that his spirit sense that could move mountain ranges couldn't move this stone tablet. If this stone tablet was broken, would more powerful cultivators come down? Thinking about this, Yemo thought if Lu Jingchuan came down, he would definitely annihilate the entire Luoyu continent. Yemo took out the time formation disc. This was the first time he took it out. He didn't have that much time, but if he didn't study this stone tablet, he couldn't leave this place feeling secure. Soon, the time formation disc started spinning rapidly, surrounding Yemo and the tablet inside. A month later, Yemo put away the time formation disc with a face full of fatigue. He had completely understood what it was now. It was the formation heart of the illusion formation, but something like the fish jump through Dragon Gate. There was a rune inside the tablet, and even Yemo didn't know what it was, but it was definitely top-grade thing from the immortal realm. The restriction inside the tablet would explode after a set time and the rune would be activated. Then, a teleportation pillar would form. The endless blue stone road was just an illusion formation formed by 7 blue stone rocks. There were still 6 left. Each one had a rune inside, but the runes seemed dimmer in color. Knowing this, how could Yemo leave a ticking time bomb here? Yemo started to set up formation, and in half an hour, the tablet was easily taken into his golden page world. He sealed it inside his golden page world. Yemo started to set up formation, and in half an hour, the tablet was easily taken into his golden page world. He sealed it inside his golden page world. With that gone, the view before him brightened up. His spirit sense easily scanned to where he came in before. Yemo breathed easy and quickly went back to the stairs, completely sealing this place before exiting. He had killed all the sand soul beasts and took the stone tablet. He killed the hollow immortal sent by that Lu Jingchuan. Yemo thought that guy was probably jumping around in fury. This guy was so evil, wanting to annihilate an entire cultivation realm, but he didn't have the power to fight him right now. When his power reached that level, Lu Jingchuan could only wait to die. He wasn't going to let such a go out. As soon as Yemo came out, he saw Du Shuing sitting on the ground and asked in shock, "Why haven't you left yet?" Then, Yemo immediately saw a body not far from her, and the messy grounds. Clearly, there was an intense battle. Du Shuing's face was pale, and she seemed to have received some injuries. It was a dead young female cultivator. Yemo could tell that Du Shuing killed her, as she gave her 2 level 9 ice arrow runes. He forgot whose storage ring he got that from, and he didn't need to use it, so he gave it to Du Shuing. Du Shuing saw Yemo come out and got up in joy. "Brother Yi, you're finally out! What's going on?" Yemo asked, but before Du Shuing could reply, 2 dashing lights came here instantly. There was 1 truth realization state cultivator and 1 hollow spirit state level 4. That truth realization state was truth realization state level 9. "Who dares to kill my disciple?" The truth realization state's furious voice sounded. His face was quite dark. Yemo scanned them and signaled Du Shuing to continue talking. Du Shuing knew Yemo's power and felt safe. She pointed at the hollow spirit state level 4 who just came. "I was spirit controlling the flying magic artifact, and that cultivator and the dead female cultivator came. After discussion, one of them wanted my flying magic artifact, the other wanted to." Yemo realized he gave her top-grade flying cultivation artifact, and the 2 cultivators came. Seeing she was so beautiful, they decided to gang up on her. The female definitely wanted the top-grade cultivation artifact, and the male cultivator probably wanted her body and storage ring. But they didn't expect the things Yemo gave her was too powerful. Du Shuing easily killed one with ice arrow rune, and the other could only run. The truth realization state level 9 saw Yemo standing next to Du Shuing and studied Yemo. He found he didn't know Yemo at all. But he didn't fight immediately and stared coldly at Yemo. "Don't you think you're lowering yourself to kill my hollow spirit state sect members?" Yemo sneered. He couldn't even be bothered replying. If this truth realization state wanted to fight, he would kill him immediately. He even killed hollow immortals. Why would he care about this truth realization state level 9? The two cultivators had a very dense water chi. Emo guessed they came from the Heartless Sea. The hollow spirit state level 4 quickly said, "Master, the woman killed her." How could the truth realization state cultivator not know this? But Yemo's power was quite similar to his. He wanted Yemo to show some resolution, but Yemo couldn't even be bothered talking to him, and he was furious. He said to Du Xiuying, "Kill yourself, I'll leave you with a whole body." Du Xiuying rebuked without hesitation. "I was spirit controlling my magic artifact and your disciple came to rob it. Am I not allowed to retaliate? Our cultivation home is here, this land all belongs to us. You were cultivating on here, are we not allowed to kick you away?" The hollow spirit state level 4 said ferociously. He thought that with his master here, those two cultivators would certainly die. Hearing such unreasonable words, Du Xiuying was so angry she didn't say anything. Yemo frowned. Why would a truth realization state level 9 suddenly take his disciple to here to open a cultivation home and cultivate? The spirit chi here was so scarce. Seeing that Yemo seemed to be backing out and didn't argue back, the truth realization state level 9 felt more confident. He said coldly to Du Xiuying, "If you kill someone, you need to pay with your life. You have 10 seconds, otherwise I will do it. You will turn into bloody mist." Yemo suddenly said, "Killing needs one to pay with her life, regardless of right or wrong, correct?" "That's right, in my eyes she needs to pay with her life, so what if it was my disciple's fault? How can that bitch compare with my disciple? Just because your truth realization state level 8 done. Think you have a right to talk with me. If you piss me off, you will have to pay too." He felt that Yemo's tone seemed to be weakening, so he was getting more and more impolite. Yemo smiled and suddenly waved his hand. A wind blade shot out. The hollow spirit state level 4 was sliced into a blood mist before he could react. Even the truth realization state level 9 couldn't react. Then Yemo looked at the truth realization state level 9 and said, "I killed your royal disciple, that should have angered you too, right? And I've talked so much to you, hurry up and let me pay with my life." Du Xiuying couldn't hold in her laughter. Seeing this, the dark-faced truth realization state was extremely shook. He could tell that Yemo's power would only be higher than his. He immediately released a gray skull flag and stared at Yemo. "Who are you?" Yemo ignored his words and didn't even release his magic artifact. He asked with his hands behind his back, "Your cultivation home is near here?" The cultivator subconsciously nodded. "That's right." Then he felt his tone was weak and raised his voice. "Who the hell are you? I know all the famous cultivators in South Peace State. There's no one as young as you." Hearing this, Yemo knew this cultivator hadn't been to South Peace State for a long time, or he wouldn't say such a thing. "Do you have some secret for building a cultivation home here?" Yemo asked. "You're asking to die." The black cultivator raised his flag. Moments later, the sky near here darkened. Countless skulls flew out of the flag. Du Xiuying subconsciously shivered. She felt shivering cold. She was a purine body type, but even she couldn't deal with such coldness. Yemo sneered and took a step forward. Sisu hacked out. Purple flight flashed, and all the black bones were hacked back into the flag. The sky brightened up again. The black-faced cultivator's face changed. He had seen many people use all sorts of ways to counter his flag, but none like Yemo, who just hacked out like that. Just one move and the black-faced cultivator immediately knew he definitely was no match for Yemo. His first reaction was to take the skull banner and run. Just one move and the black-faced cultivator immediately knew he definitely was no match for Yemo. His first reaction was to take the skull banner and run. But when he was about to run, he was shocked to find that Yemo's domain had reached a state that was cast at will. It easily broke his domain and bound him. He would need at least a few seconds to break free from this domain, and in this time he could die countless deaths. "Don't kill me, I'll say it." The truth realization state level 9 called out quickly. The activated sword ray stopped above his head, spitting out rays. If the cultivator said it 1 second later, he would have been sliced open by this sword beam. There was a sliver of joy in his heart, not because this cultivator was willing to talk, but because he could stop Sisu according to will. Before, he had to forcefully stop his full-powered attack, which caused a backlash. But now, he could stop Sisu at will. This gave Yemo a sense of enlightenment. He felt he was about to grasp something. "Friend, I'm willing to say it, please put away your sword beam." The 10-meter-long sword beam was scaring the truth realization state cultivator. He was scared Yemo would shake his hand and cut him open. Yemo sighed. His enlightenment was interrupted again. This made him annoyed and he yelled, "Hurry up then, I don't have time to play with you." "Yes," the truth realization state cultivator quickly said. "My martial ancestor left behind a flying sword seal before his immortal ascension. If the flying sword seal breaks, it meant that the fortune of our sect has come and I'm to find sand soul beasts at the CI mountain." Suddenly, the truth realization state cultivator stopped. Yemo wanted to ask him why and suddenly felt something was wrong with him. There was a look of extreme terror, more terror than when he was about to be killed before. Yemo covered him and Du Shuing with the octagonal cauldron without hesitation. "And break the netherworld." As though knowing he was tricked, he desperately tried to say the last words, but he completely exploded before he finished. Rumble. This self-destruction was enough to completely erase nearly 3 kilometers of land. After the explosion, Yemo put away the octagonal cauldron, and Du Shuing saw that only her and Yemo stood in this perimeter. He was willing to say it. "Why self-destruct?" Du Shuing asked in shock. "Things probably aren't so simple." Yemo seemed to be murmuring to himself. Yemo guessed that either in his bloodline or cultivation method, an extremely cruel restriction was set. If one revoked it, they would self-destruct. This thing definitely had something that stopped the sand soul beasts from attacking him, but now that he self-destructed, all clues were gone. Yemo really wanted to go to this person's sect and see what their martial ancestors' relationship with Lu Jingchuan was. "How long was I been down there?" Yemo asked. 8 days. Du Shuing quickly replied. "Oh shit," Yemo said and released Blue Moon, taking her quickly away. Qianwei told him he could last for 7 days, but this was the 8th day now. Ice Sword Sect and Golden Sword Sect had quite similar names, but the difference in power between the two was immeasurable. Ice Sword Sect was just a 5-star sect, but Golden Sword Sect was an 8-star sect. With the truth spirit pills provided by Flowing Snake City, Golden Sword Sect would reach 9 stars in a matter of time. Appearing above the Golden Sword Sect, Du Shuing was completely dazed. She thought the scene at Fusion Joy Sect was horrendous enough, but now she completely changed her mind. Ice Sword Sect was just a 5-star sect, but they had nearly 1,000 kilometers of land. Now, the sect was completely unseen. There were only spirit-devouring bugs before their eyes for over 1,000 kilometers. With this many, so what even if an immortal came? Du Shuing shivered but found that as they stopped, countless of them had swarmed over. Even Yemo's skin was crawling. With this many, how could Qianwei stop them? Even he would have to run if he didn't have Heaven Flame 9 Suns. Many of these bugs had devoured cultivator essence blood and reached higher levels. How many cultivators would be needed to annihilate all these spirit-devouring bugs? Yemo took a cold breath in. If Lu Jingchuan set this up, just what did he want to do? Even the sand soul beasts could annihilate the cultivation realm. Why send all these spirit-devouring bugs? If the South Peace State was like this, what about North Far State, West Extreme State, and East Black State? Wouldn't they be annihilated already? Brother Yi, we. Du Shuing was shaking. She didn't feel that scared seeing the sand soul beasts, but the spirit-devouring bugs made her completely frightened. Then, Du Shuing vomited. The terrifying smell and look of the spirit-devouring bugs made her unable to control her disgust. Yemo knew that she really didn't have the courage to keep staying here. The spirit-devouring bugs here were too many and too scary. The reason Yemo didn't attack immediately was because he was trying to find Qianwei with his spirit sense. Soon Yemo had a joyful look. He saw at the heart of the sect there was a big golden bell. Countless spirit-devouring bugs were hustled there biting the bell, which was covered in craters. But Emo was shocked to find that the bell was a low-grade immortal artifact. If these bugs could even eat a low-grade immortal artifact, what else in the cultivation realm could they not eat? Emo knew that Qian Wei and them were probably inside the bell. If he came just half a day later, the bell would have disappeared. Du Shuiying still wanted to talk, but Emo waved his hand and a purple sun was released. It hung in the sky, releasing waves of purple beams. They quickly fell and scattered from a radius of 10 meters to tens of kilometers. Emo's face went pale. During his solitary cultivation, although the heaven flame 9 suns changed to purple color, and his spirit sense also drastically increased due to the spirit nourishing well, he still couldn't stand the use of heaven flame 9 suns. If it was a radius of a few kilometers he could last longer, but this tens of kilometers radius made it a great struggle for him. Emo knew that these bugs were different than the sand soul beasts. He had to annihilate all the spirit-devouring bugs without a 1,000-kilometer radius. Otherwise, they would run away, and that would be a huge disaster. Almost all the spirit-devouring bugs melted to smoke as soon as the sun shone upon them. Du Shuiying had never seen this, and seeing that the bugs couldn't even last a few seconds, she immediately rejoiced. There was a sudden impulse in her heart. She couldn't describe what it was. When she moved her eyes to Emo, she was very shocked. Emo's face was getting more and more pale. White mist was coming out of his body. Clearly, he had been trying his best. Du Shuiying wanted to talk, but at this moment she realized she couldn't disturb Emo. However, Emo suddenly left Blue Moon. Then, she saw Emo burn his way over. The purple sun above his head shone out countless purple rays. The rays were like fire and turned billions of spirit-devouring bugs to dust. Du Shuiying's spirit sense followed Emo, and soon found that the purple sun increased to a bigger range. Then, she saw Emo burn his way over. The purple sun above his head shone out countless purple rays. The rays were like fire and turned billions of spirit-devouring bugs to dust. Du Shuiying's spirit sense followed Emo, and soon found that the purple sun increased to a bigger range. It increased to nearly 100 kilometers, and Emo's face went from pale to red instead. Du Shuiying's heart clenched. She knew that Emo was heavily injured. Soon, she realized why Emo expanded the sun. It was because some of them started to run. However, Emo was getting faster and faster, and his sun getting hotter and hotter. In less than half an hour, the heaven-filling spirit-devouring bugs loosened up and disappeared. When Emo circulated the 1,000 kilometers around Ice Sword Sect and finally came before Blue Moon, he couldn't help falling to the ground. The purple sun shrunk and landed before falling onto Emo's head and disappearing. There were only about a few thousand spirit-devouring bugs above in the sky. This wasn't enough to threaten a sect. A slightly higher-powered cultivator would be enough to kill these spirit-devouring bugs. Du Shuiying quickly controlled Blue Moon to land next to Emo and help protect him. She was very worried. She knew that no one would come harm Emo now, but she was still worried. She had seen what Emo did and knew what he meant to South Peace State. Without Emo, just those sand soul beasts were enough to flip South Peace State over. Sometimes, the more one worried about something, the more it would happen. Although there were only about a few thousand bugs left, and theoretically they should have flew off, they didn't. Instead, they gathered together. Just when Du Shuiying didn't know what was going on, she heard a sharp shriek. This time, she saw what it was. It was a spirit-devouring bug, but it was so much bigger than the rest. It was completely red and 10 times the size of the rest. Then, it charged at Emo. Du Shuiying was shook and quickly released her flying sword, hacking at the bug. She thought with her hollow spirit state middle stage power, she could easily kill a bug. But the clash of metal sounded and Du Shuiying's heart sunk. Her flying sword not only didn't kill the bug but was instead knocked flying away. The bug ignored her and instead charged rapidly at Emo as though it wouldn't stop unless it killed Emo. The few thousand bugs also followed this huge spirit-devouring bug. She quickly set up a shield, but at this moment, she heard another shriek. a figure her spirit sense didn't even notice charged at Emo. Meanwhile, the spirit-devouring bugs quickly crippled hearing this sound. However, that black figure didn't stop there. It charged up fast like lightning. Everywhere it went, spirit-devouring bugs disappeared. Only now did Du Shuing see clearly what it was. It seemed to be pea-sized. How did it eat so many bugs that were much larger than it? Finally, this angered the largest bug. It charged at the black figure without fear while the black figure did the same. The two figures clashed together, creating the sound of metal clashing. Then Du Shuing heard a crunching sound. But at this moment, Emo got up and Du Shuing immediately came up to him. "Are you okay?" Emo smiled. "Thanks for protecting me, I've recovered a lot." That round of Heaven Flame 9 Suns was too exhausting. Although it was impossible to completely recover this quickly, Emo recovered 30% of his power. Du Shuing's face went red. She didn't help at all. She couldn't even beat a bug. But Emo didn't say anything. He yelled at the black figure. "Don't eat in such a disgusting way, hurry up!" Then, Du Shuing realized that the small pea-sized thing had already eaten the big spirit-devouring bug. Then, the black bug shot in a line and disappeared into Emo's hand. After a while, Du Shuing asked in a daze, "Brother Yi, that's your bug? You keep bugs?" She suddenly shivered and imagined a scene where countless of these black bugs circulated Emo, and they were all kept by Emo. Emo nodded. "Yes, this is my bug. The spirit-devouring bug before didn't fear Shadowless because it was possessed. It's probably a cultivator who had enmity with me, so its instinct was to charge at me. Otherwise, all those spirit-devouring bugs would have escaped." Emo looked at the bell in confusion. "Why doesn't the old monk come out? Is he planning to celebrate New Year inside?" Then Emo walked over at the ditched bell. Emo reached out his cultivation essence giant hand and opened the bell and found Qian Wei was more heavily injured than him. His face was pale like paper. The rest of the people were also heavily depleted in spirit sense and cultivation essence. There were about 100 or so people inside. Other than 7 monks, the rest were probably Ice Sword sect cultivators. However, this sect had mostly female cultivator. Emo realized that they used all their spirit sense and cultivation essence to activate the bell, that they didn't even have the power left to open it. This old monk had quite the luck. If he was close to the monk, Emo would have joked already. "Thank you, City Lord Yi. I'm ashamed. I thought I would be able to stop the spirit-devouring bugs, but they were endless. I wasn't even able to survive for a day. We completely relied on the treasure of the Jin Gang Temple to survive. City Lord Ye's power is out of the world. Reaching immortal state, I'm really amazed." Qian Wei sighed. Emo knew that the old monk was sighing because the bell was ruined and also because they didn't have someone like him in the temple. Some of the Ice Sword sect members who recovered their senses came over to thank Emo. They were covered by the bell, but their spirit sense could scan outside. No one could stay calm at the sight of Emo using Heaven Flame 9 Suns to instantly annihilate countless bugs. Now, no one doubted that Emo killed 11 truth realization state cultivators in a row. Emo himself could count for a few hundred truth realization states. Even if a few hundred truth realization states came, they might not be able to annihilate so many spirit-devouring bugs. Emo took out recovery pills and let Du Shuing spread them out. When Qian Wei recovered a little, he asked him, "Sect leader Qian Wei, why are there only this number of cultivators in the Ice Sword sect? Were the rest devoured by the bugs?" Qian Wei sighed. "Many wanted to use Earth mobility to leave, but none escaped. I made the promise before, and yet today I accomplished nothing, and I still needed City Lord Yi to save me. I'm really..." Qian Wei was a competitive person as a 9-star sect's head monk. However, he felt a little disappointed that the difference between them was this huge. Emo had a great impression of this monk. He shook his head and said, "Sect leader Qian Wei, you've helped a lot. If it wasn't for you being here, I'm afraid more sects would have been annihilated." The bugs had some intellect and saw nearly 100 cultivators hiding in the bell. They stopped to finish the bell off. The bugs had some intellect and saw nearly 100 cultivators hiding in the bell. They stopped to finish the bell off. The bugs were communal insects, so when most of the bugs stayed here, the rest stayed too. Qianwei drew countless spirit-devouring bugs here, allowing Emo to have the time to annihilate the sand soul beasts first. Seeing Qianwei still feeling embarrassed, Emo didn't explain and saluted with his fists. Sect Leader Qianwei, I'm going to the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. Then, Emo looked at Du Shuiying. Let Sect Leader Qianwei send you back to Mou City. Du Shuiying clearly didn't want to go back. She saw Emo annihilate the sand soul beasts, and how Emo instantly annihilated countless spirit-devouring bugs. She clearly wanted to go to the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. Perhaps one day, she would be the only person to see Emo save the South Peace State from great calamity all by himself. How could she want to miss such opportunity? But she didn't have an excuse to go. Just when Du Shuiying wanted to find an excuse, Qianwei suddenly said, City Lord Yi, I want to come with you to see the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds and witness your power again. Emo knew the old monk meant this, so he didn't reject upon thinking. Hearing this, Du Shuiying also said, Brother Yi, I also want to go see. I've never been to the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. Seeing this, Emo released Blue Moon. In that case, let's go together. The rest of the temple monks went back to the sect. The Ice Sword sect was completely destroyed due to this disaster, and needed to be rebuilt. He gave Blue Moon to Qianwei to control. Even Blue Moon needed 1 day to get there, and he could use this time to recover. The Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds was the second most dangerous forbidden grounds in South Peace State. Up until now, no one dares to go in. You would be devoured by the Flame Sea no matter how powerful you were. Before, the Flame Sea was terrifying, but you would be fine if you didn't go in, as the flame wouldn't flow out. But now, it had become the most terrifying place as the flames started to flow out. Luckily, it wasn't very fast now. However, because the flames were too powerful, almost all the places it leaked to turned to nothing. Nothing could survive under it. Tens of km from the Forbidden Grounds, more than 10 Truth Realization State cultivators and tens of Disaster Transformation State looked helplessly as the flames gradually expanded. The hundreds of cultivators below Disaster Transformation State couldn't even get near. Other than Qianwei, all the 9-star sect, 8-star sect and 7-star sect had elders of sect leaders here. Emo told them to stop the Forbidden Grounds for half a month, but it was only the 9th day and they couldn't hold on. All they could do now was at most slow the flames a little. The ones most useful here were Ji Ling and a few Formation Grand Master who came later. They used all materials necessary and set up defense formation after defense formation. This barely held them to the 9th day. If the flames seeped out quickly, it would turn the entire South Peace State into a flame sea within a few years. No one could even come close to here, not even Truth Realization State. The only thing they could do was set up defense formation and strengthen it with everyone's cultivation essence and spirit sense. But as the flames spread out, it was getting harder and harder to set up formation as the area was getting larger too. We can't guard here anymore, it's pointless to guard it. Even if City Lord Yi comes, there's nothing he can do with this. Abstruse Sound Sect leader Jing Fingji looked at the ravaging flames and sighed. The cultivators fell silent, no one doubted his words. Even if they barely held out till Emo came, it was pointless. Even Emo wouldn't be able to stop such flames. I believe Emo has a way, he told us to stop it for half a month. We still have the ability to do so. If we just leave like this, we're not only being irresponsible to City Lord Yi but also the entire South Peace State. Shan Bingfeng said. We have already lost 6 cauldron-filling state and 2 disaster transformation state cultivators for this. If the flames break the formation again and we're still setting up new formation, more cultivators would die if we can't leave in time. Godwind Valley Mo Ming said heavily. Then, he said, I just got news that spirit-devouring bugs annihilated Ice Sword Sect, the Jin Gang Temple Sect leader and 2 Truth Realization State cultivators, 4 Disaster Transformation State cultivators were all gone. None escaped from there and... Mo Ming looked around and continued. It said that the spirit-devouring bugs were endless, They filled the space within 1,000 km radius. After City Lord Yi helped Fusion Joy Sect, he went missing in the hive of the Sand Soul Beasts. No one would be able to stop even the spirit-devouring bugs, much less the Flame Sea. Even if City Lord Yi didn't go missing, it would be the same result if he came. What? Mo Ming's words shocked all the cultivators here. The spirit-devouring bugs would be able to devour the entire South Peace State even if the Flame Sea didn't spill. What do we do now? One disaster transformation state sect leader asked. The only way is to leave South Peace State and retreat into the Heartless Sea, Mo Ming said heavily. Then what do we do with all the cultivators here? One Truth Realization State elder frowned. He meant not only the cultivators but also the countless mortal cities, sects, and cultivation cities. The population were in the 100 billions. Mo Ming said coldly. We can't care about that much. We don't have the ability to stop the calamity of South Peace State. If we can retreat, then do it. If not, we can only leave things to fate. I disagree. Shan Bingfeng got up. We can't settle all these cultivators in the Heartless Sea, but even if a small amount can live, what about the other people in South Peace State? We weren't born as cultivators, many of us came from ordinary mortals. Now that South Peace State is in danger, we should protect South Peace State and not run. Then what does Elder Shan think we should do? Jingfengji asked calmly. Clearly, he agreed with Mo Ming. This calamity isn't something that could be stopped with human force. Staying at South Peace State was asking to die. Shan Bingfeng said certainly. Things aren't completely hopeless. We should continue to guard the Flame Sea and stop it from expanding. We need to wait at least till City Lord Yi comes and listen to his advice. Elder Shan has high morals, Mo Ming admires you. But my God, Wind Valley has been passed down for tens of thousands of years. I can't let it end in my hands. Mo Ming don't have the resolve of Elder Shan. Goodbye. Then Mo Ming released his magic artifact. The God Wind Valley cultivators saw this and all released their magic artifact, disappearing. Heaven Demon Sect Shiluan Goddess was the strongest here, and seeing this, she saluted with her fists to Shan Bingfeng and gave her an apologetic look before leaving with her Truth Realization State elders. Li Yao, you seem to have something to say? Shiluan saw Li Yao open her mouth but not say anything. Li Yao said, Sect leader, I feel we should stay. I know City Lord Ye's power, he never. Shiluan stopped her. I know City Lord Yi, but Li Yao, do you think he can annihilate 1,000 kilometers of spirit-devouring bugs? Can he force back the flames here? If not, what's the point of staying here? We might as well go Heartless Sea early and find a place to settle. Li Yao was speechless. With 2 9-star sects leading Abstruse Sound Sect, Heartless Valley, Heaven Herb Lake, and them all came to bid farewell to Shan Bingfeng. In this short time, only Clear Dream Mosque, Black Eye Sect, Ethereal Immortal Pond, Heaven Star Sect remained. But there were 5 or 6 sects below 8 stars. The rest were some solo cultivators. In this short time, only Clear Dream Mosque, Black Eye Sect, Ethereal Immortal Pond, Heaven Star Sect remained. But there were 5 or 6 sects below 8 stars. The rest were some solo cultivators. For Truth Realization State cultivators, only 2 from Clear Dream Mosque, 1 from Black Eye Sect and Ji Ling remained. Martial Sister Sect leader, did I do wrong? Seeing so many cultivators leave, Shan Bingfeng was disappointed and asked another Clear Dream Mosque Truth Realization State female cultivator. The sect leader smiled. Martial Sister, if you feel it's right, then do it. There's not right or wrong, only what should be done and what shouldn't be done. If you feel you should do it, then it's right. Mo Ming feels he shouldn't do this, he's not necessarily wrong. Dao cultivator follows one's heart. Thank you for your teachings, Martial Sister, Bingfeng understands. Shan Bingfeng felt her mind state reach a level higher. She sighed to the rest of the cultivators. Those Dao friends who wish to stay with me to defend against the Flame Sea, please stay. If not, Bingfeng won't think you did something wrong. Please enlighten us, Elder Shan. As long as not all hope is lost, we won't leave. We trust sect leader Shan and Elder Shan. We trust City Lord you would have a way to annihilate the spirit-devouring bugs and make it back here in time. A few cauldron-filling states answered, but no cultivators left. Most of the cultivators in the cultivation realm were selfish, but there were some who were selfless. They knew that the death of South Peace State meant that they would have nowhere to go. Instead of dying at the Heartless Sea, they might as well seek that sliver of chance. Of course, some cultivators remained out of respect and craze for Emo. Shan Bingfeng's heart warmed. Even in the cultivation realm, there were countless cultivators who were willing to die for others. Ji Qianbei, we'll set another defense formation here. Martial Sister and I and Black Eye Sect Truth Realization State Elder will stay at the back to protect this formation. Ji Qianbei and the rest of the cultivators retreat 50 kilometers and set up the last defense formation. As soon as Shan Bingfeng said this, there was a sudden explosion. The defense formation ahead suddenly exploded. Countless terrifying flames spewed out, rushing at the people. Instantly, it crossed half the distance. Before the flames even arrived, some weaker cultivators were feeling dizzy from the heat. Not good, everyone retreat to a safe place, we don't have time to set up a formation, Jiling called out. He didn't expect the formation ahead lasted less than half an hour. According to their experience, it would last at least half a day. During that time they could set up another formation. The flames were too fast, body condensation state cultivators and above were fine, but those below couldn't even leave in time. Jai Ling grabbed 2 hollow spirit state cultivators and was about to fly away when he saw a purple sword rays hack over. Thud. The purple sword rays clashed with the flames, making a heavy sound. The crazy flames were severed off by the purple sword rays. Only then did people realize that Emo was standing beside the flames. The kitchen knife he used turned into a huge sword that was 3 kilometers long, and this sword happened to block the opening in the flame sea. Then, Emo threw down tens of formation flags, soon calming the roaring flame sea. City Lord Yi is here. At the same time, all the cultivators who escaped death were overjoyed. However, they dazed again. Emo was a truth realization state cultivator, but why could he stand by the fire completely fine? Only then, a blue figure landed amongst them. Qian Wei and Du Shuiying got off Blue Moon. Sect leader Qian Wei, you're fine? Ji Ling and Shan Bingfeng asked at the same time. Qian Wei said in embarrassment. Luckily City Lord Yi came in time and annihilated the spirit-devouring bugs, saving us. I didn't help much. City Lord Yi annihilated hundreds of millions of sand soul beasts, and then 1,000 km of spirit-devouring bugs. He's doing the hard work. Hearing this, everyone was completely dazed. Spirit-devouring bugs were no ordinary bugs. Plus, since when were there a few 100 million sand soul beasts? But everyone knew Qian Wei wouldn't lie. Everyone thought Mo Ming was finding an excuse to leave, saying there was 1,000 km of spirit-devouring bugs, but now they realized it was true. Either of them were unfathomable terrors, and yet Emo could annihilate them. Just how absurd was Emo? Shan Bingfeng quickly looked at Emo and saw he walked over slowly. The endless flames were stopped by his kitchen knife and some formation flags. City Lord Yi is indeed unparalleled. Even Chu Jiuyu Qianbei is probably a little weaker. I believe the South Peace State cultivators won't forget everything City Lord Yi did for us. One female cultivator greeted him. It was a truth realization state level 9. Her face was beautiful, but one couldn't tell how old she was. A pale aqua nun dress covered her body. It was clear dream mosque nun dress. Emo hadn't seen her before, but he guessed she might be the sect leader Shan Yui, Shan Bingfeng's martial sister. Emo quickly saluted with his fists. Emo greet clear dream mosque Shan Qianbei, thank you for staying here to guard the forbidden grounds. Shan Yui smiled. Shan Bingfeng walked over excitedly and grabbed Emo's hand. Emo, I didn't expect you can sever the flame sea flames with one strike and annihilated 1,000 km of spirit-devouring bugs and the few 100 million sand soul beasts. Thank you, Shan Bingfeng, thank you for everything you did for South Peace State. Emo didn't expect her to be this excited. She even grabbed his hand. Master, you grabbed City Lord Ye's hand? Ling Xiaoshuang reminded awkwardly. Shan Bingfeng immediately noticed this and quickly put down her hands. She was still very excited, however. Yi Qian Bei, Pil King Yi, City Lord Yi. All the cultivators looked and greeted Emo with respect. If South Peace State was gone, they would have no place to stay. Emo saved South Peace State, meaning he saved them. They believed Emo could stop the flames. There were more than 10 Truth Realization State cultivators and tens of Disaster Transformation State cultivator, but they couldn't stop the flames. When Emo came, he stopped it with one strike. What was more convincing than this? Luckily they didn't leave. If they did, they wouldn't have the glory of fighting alongside City Lord Yi to annihilate the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. Some cultivators even seemed very prideful. They were waiting for Emo to seal the flames and then use crystal balls to record that they were here. Emo was confused why there were so little cultivators, but he still greeted. Yan Guan was also overjoyed. When he saw Emo come, he knew it was right of him to stay. Then, Ethereal Immortal Pond Ho Fei Goddess and Heaven Star Sect Jishai also came to greet Emo. Then, Emo asked in confusion, "Why are there only this little people? Where are the rest?" Ling Xishuang sneered. "Those timid people. My master said to stay here for 15 days, but they heard about the 1000 km spirit devouring bugs and how Jin Gang Temple were all devoured by them. Then, they all wanted to leave South Peace State and hide into the Heartless Sea. Only my master disagreed and stayed. The cultivators who stayed here feel the same. Other than us, there are countless lives in South Peace State. My master said we can't just leave irresponsibly." The rest of the cultivators felt Ling Xishuang spoke their heart. Emo just realized this and had more of a good impression of Shan Bingfeng. Even the past small discomfort was gone. She was excited not for herself but for South Peace State and all of the cultivators in it. Emo just realized this and had more of a good impression of Shan Bingfeng. Even the past small discomfort was gone. She was excited not for herself but for South Peace State and all of the cultivators in it. Emo then looked over at Yan Guan, Jishai, Ho Fei Goddess and them and expressed his gratitude. He considered South Peace State his base now, and although he blocked the flames with one strike, that was because they hadn't completely exploded yet. If the fire ravaged across the entire South Peace State, how could he annihilate by himself? Even if he annihilated the fires after a long time, South Peace State would become charred earth. Was MOU City to survive on this burned earth? Emo tested the flames here. It wouldn't be much weaker than the Void Flame. A place burned by this flame would have no vegetation for countless years. Even spirit chi would be burned away. Haha, Qingxue Goddess came from Ethereal Immortal Pond. Of course Whole Wei Goddess can't leave. Heaven Star Sect Jishai couldn't say much to 9 Star Sect Black Eye Sect, but he believed Ethereal Immortal Pond stayed behind for Qingxue. However, Ho Fei Goddess smiled. "That's right, Qingxue from our sect married to City Lord Yi. I feel proud. Of course I want to stay. Pity City Lord Yi doesn't take in doubt partners now, or I would be willing to follow him." Ethereal Immortal Pond female cultivator have been very formal and goddess-like. They would never show any interest in male cultivators. The sect leader of Ethereal Immortal Pond have always taken on a cold goddess image, but suddenly she said such words. Even Ji Shai and Yan Guan couldn't handle this, much less Emo. Emo didn't think Ho Fei Goddess really liked him. There were two possibilities of her saying this. One was to gain his trust to help Ethereal Immortal Pond reach 9 Star Sect. Another was that she wasn't the cold goddess she showed herself to be. She was an ambitious woman. If she stayed with him, her cultivation path would be extremely smooth. Or perhaps she believed that her looks were on par with Ning Qingxue. If she expressed interest, it wasn't hard for her to stay at MOU City forever. If she thought the first possibility, then Emo felt he could help her, but if it was the second, then please leave. He hated calculative women. None of the women around him were calculative. Emo didn't reply to that and said to Ji Ling and Shan Bingfeng, "Ji Qianbei, wait here for me. I'll go and see why flames are spewing out." "You can go inside the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds?" Shan Bingfeng asked in shock. Emo nodded. "I can try, if not I won't force anything." Would the flames break through the purple knife? One disaster transformation state asked worriedly. Emo smiled. Definitely not, don't worry. Zisu SAS his magic artifact. He would know if it could stop the flames or not. Seeing Emo really go inside, everyone was dazed. They saw Yemo's figure slowly disappear into the flames and didn't turn into dust like the previous cultivators. Only Ho-Fei showed some disappointment. Yemo didn't care about what she said at all. City Lord Yi is actually 3 God State Body Refinement Cultivator. How did he do it? Qianwei said in extreme shock. 3 God State Body Refinement? The cultivators heard this and were dumbfounded. There has never been anyone in the history of Luoyu continent to reach 3 God State Body Refinement. Yet Yemo was 3 God State? Qianwei sect leader, did you see wrong? Perhaps City Lord Yi has protection magic artifact. The Truth Realization State elder of Black Eye sect asked in astonishment. The rest of the people all looked at Qianwei in confusion. It was already shocking enough that Yemo was Truth Realization State tertiary stage at such a young age. If he was 3 God State Body Refinement too, then it would be terrifying. Even if one started body refinement at birth and had all the resources and didn't cultivate 2, he wouldn't be able to reach 3 God State at Yemo's age. Even Clear Dream Mosque sect leader felt it was impossible. The reason Yemo could allow his body refinement to improve so quickly was mainly due to the 3 birth chant and golden page world. Of course, without the Kuan blood, no matter how good the void was for body refinement, he wouldn't be able to reach 3 God State in such a short time. Who would use God Beast blood for body refinement? How many had the 3 birth chant? How many had the chance to body refinement in Void Fisher and go into the golden page world in danger? Yemo had all of them. Seeing everyone in disbelief, Qianwei looked at the flames and said, City Lord Yi probably didn't just reach 3 God State. I believe he's either Disaster State or God State. He definitely isn't Monarch State. If it wasn't that God State is too shocking and that legend says Truth Realization State cultivators can't reach it, I would even guess City Lord Yi is God State. I really don't know where he cultivated this. Shan Yui was very shook. According to her knowledge, God State couldn't possibly appear in the cultivation realm. If Yemo was God State, how did he do it? Shan Yui's surprise wasn't unreasonable. The Black Rock City had been in the Void Fissure for countless years and countless cultivators' body refinement there. The body refinement condition there wasn't incomparable with others. But even so, the highest body refinement was only Soa Anshan, who was Disaster Stage Peak. Everyone was shook by Qianwei's words and looked into the flame sea. Although they couldn't see Yemo, but seeing the huge kitchen knife still derelict, they knew Yemo was fine. The sect leader stopped discussing about Yemo, but the other cultivators did. I saw that Godwind Valley Mo Ming Qian Bei couldn't even get near the flame sea border, and yet City Lord Yi could go into it. The difference is too huge, so what? Didn't you hear sect leader Qianwei say that City Lord Yi annihilated 1,000 km range of spirit-devouring bugs and annihilated a few 100 million sand soul beasts? If he was like other Truth Realization State cultivators, he wouldn't be able to sever the flame sea flames. Ling Xiaoshuang heard this and also wondered if Yemo was 3 God State Body Refinement, but she didn't doubt that Yemo annihilated the 1,000 km range of spirit-devouring bugs. Yemo's blue sun was too powerful. It could even annihilate Disaster Transformation State cultivators. If Yemo used that sun, it would definitely be fine. She saw Du Shuiying standing on the side and suddenly walked over. She knew Du Shuiying came with Yemo and wanted to ask her some things. Shuiying, greet Martial Sister Ling Shuang. Du Shuiying greeted. Ling Xiaoshuang quickly said, Shuiying, we're similar age, just say my name. By the way, did you come with Yemo? Du Shuiying nodded. Yes, brother, you saved me and took me over. Ling Xiaoshuang dazed. She thought Du Shuiying would call Yemo's City Lord Yi, but she called him Brother Yi so naturally. She subconsciously asked, You call him Brother Yi? Then she realized her question was problematic. Why couldn't she do that? Du Shuiying didn't realize what Ling Xiaoshuang meant and nodded. Yes, I've left Fusion Joy Sect. I'm not a part of them now. Brother, you saw I had no place to go, so he's planning to take me to MOU City. Shishwang, if you come to MOU City, you can come find me. You left Fusion Joy Sect? Ling Xia Shuang subconsciously asked, and then she added, That's good, that sect is too dirty, sorry, Xiuying, I'm not talking about you. Du Xiuying said sadly. Shishwang, it's okay, but I don't really want to talk about my sect. Du Xiuying said sadly. Shishwang, it's okay, but I don't really want to talk about my sect. Ling Shishwang realized she said something wrong and touched her face awkwardly. The atmosphere grew heavy. Soon, she thought of another problem. Yemo didn't seem to be very enthusiastic to her, and was even a little cold. Why was he so nice to Du Xiuying? In looks, she was better than Du Xiuying. Du Xiuying was ranked 9th while she was ranked 2nd. The deeper Yemo went, the more hotter it got. It didn't hurt him due to his God state body refinement, but Yemo grew more and more careful. This wasn't at the depth yet, and the temperature was so high. What would the temperature at the depth be? Would it be more powerful than the void flame? The flame sea forbidden grounds was dark red. Yemo's spirit sense couldn't extend further in this pace. Compared to the blue sand ditch, this was a real inferno hell. Yemo reached his God state at the depth of the void flame. However, the surface temperature of the void flame was much greater than the depth. Yemo knew that after reaching God's state, the depth temperature of the void flame was nothing, but he didn't know if he could take on the surface temperature. The flame sea forbidden grounds was the opposite. The outside temperature was lower, but the deeper he went, the higher the temperature. Yemo felt that if he went a few km deeper, that temperature wouldn't be lukewarm temperature anymore. It was getting more and more scorching. Yemo started to sweat more and more. At this moment, Yemo was certain the temperature here was completely beyond void flame. There was such high temperature in the cultivation realm, Yemo couldn't understand at all. Yemo stopped and released Octagonal Cauldron. Even though he had God state body refinement, but if the flames from the depths suddenly swept over, he would be seriously injured. After using the Octagonal Cauldron, the flames felt weaker a lot. Yemo breathed easy, just when he wanted to go further. He saw a small fist-sized gray rock. Yemo felt it was unusual, so he picked it up. When he scanned his spirit sense inside, he called in shock. Extreme Flame Star Gold? This was extreme-grade forgery material. It rarely appeared in the cultivation realm and was ranked as level 10 material. But Yemo was forgery grandmaster, and he knew that this ore was definitely beyond level 10. He wasn't sure of the exact level though. They usually appeared in the void of higher realms. Thus, Yemo was so shocked. How could this ore appear here? Yemo watched more intently with his spirit sense, and soon, he found a second, a third, and even more. The largest was bigger than a bucket. Regardless if he could quench the flames here, Yemo knew he discovered a fortune. Although his Zisu was top grade, he felt Zisu wasn't good enough when fighting with that hollow immortal. This meant Zisu need to be upgraded. He had a lot of top grade materials, but he didn't feel there were enough of them to deserve to be used in Zisu. However, the extreme flame star gold was very suitable. Yemo kept searching as he went until a tear's sound woke him up. He had walked to the deepest part of the flame sea forbidden grounds. The terrifying flame swept past the octagonal cauldron, tearing some clothes and armor from him. As soon as they were taken by the flame, they completely disappeared. Even with the protection of the octagonal cauldron, Yemo's body was roasted red. Yemo knew that if this still wasn't the deepest part, he wouldn't be able to go down anymore. He couldn't bear this temperature anymore, even with God's state body refinement. Yemo reached out his spirit sense carefully. Spirit sense would be easily injured here. Soon, Yemo's spirit sense locked onto a palm-sized ore. It wasn't really an ore, it was more like a piece of tofu. Yemo saw it waving around in the flame. Yemo had a strange feeling that this tofu was the source of the entire Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. All the flames of the Forbidden Grounds was let out by it. Without it, the flames would immediately disappear. This was too strange. It was so small and soft. How could it let out such terrifying heat? Yemo carefully used his spirit sense to look at the inside of it, but before he could, he felt a huge pain in his sea of consciousness. Then, he spat a huge mouthful of blood. Yemo quickly ate a few spirit recovery pills. He was shook. Yemo didn't stay outside, he went into the Golden Page world and started forging formation flags. In here, there was no material that could withstand this terrifying heat except for extreme flame star gold. Yemo was probably the only to use extreme flame star gold to forge formation flags. Another person wouldn't even be able to melt the extreme flame star gold. They would at least high-level heaven flame. His Miss Lotus Heart fire was purple, so it was fine melting the extreme flame star gold. 2 hours later, Yemo appeared inside the Forbidden Grounds again. He didn't scan the tofu with his spirit sense again. He took out formation flags and carefully sealed this soft ore and then marked restrictions on it. Normally, he would be able to do it in a second, but for this ore, Yemo used 4 hours to seal it. Then, Yemo took out a box made with extreme flame star gold and placed the soft ore into the box before setting up multiple restrictions. Then, Yemo placed it in the furthest corner of the Golden Page world. It was a few thousand km from his bitter bamboo and spirit herb gardens. All his fortune was in the Golden Page world. If that was lost, then no matter how valuable this ore was, it wouldn't be worth. Yemo would check this ore later. After the ore was taken away, Yemo felt the temperature drop immediately. It was dropping faster and faster until it was same as ordinary flames. Soon, as the flames went down, the surrounding space showed. This space had been burned by the terrifying flames for countless years. It had formed a dark gray color. Some extreme flame star gold showed, and Yemo quickly started collecting them. Yemo had been in the Forbidden Grounds for more than half a day. Some cultivators outside began to worry. If it wasn't that Yemo's Zisu was still there, they would have thought Yemo had died. "Everyone look, the flames are receding." One cauldron-filling state pointed at the flames in joy. Everyone saw this too, the flames retreated like the tide. Everyone rushed up to Zisu, they knew the flames were receding but no one dared to go in. Everyone stood beside Zisu looking at the flames in disbelief. They thought that however powerful Yemo was, he would at most be able to seal the flames see. However, he was receding the flames instead. "City Lord Yi indeed has heavenly power. In just half a day, he would make the flames see recede," Qianwei sect leader said in shock. Even he saw with his own eyes Yemo annihilate the spirit-devouring bugs, he was still shook again. Yemo had a heaven flame cultivation method and thus countered the bugs, thus he could annihilate them. But receding the flames wasn't something that a cultivation method could deal with. Ordinary people wouldn't even be able to go and much less recede the flames. Yet Yemo did it. "City Lord Yi indeed has heavenly power. In just half a day, he would make the flames see recede," Qianwei sect leader said in shock. Even he saw with his own eyes Yemo annihilate the spirit-devouring bugs, he was still shook again. Yemo had a heaven flame cultivation method and thus countered the bugs, thus he could annihilate them. But receding the flames wasn't something that a cultivation method could deal with. Ordinary people wouldn't even be able to go and much less recede the flames. Yet Yemo did it. Qianwei was only Truth Realization State Level 3, but he was much older than Truth Realization State Level 9 Shanyu. He was very enthusiastic about the things in the cultivation realm. His words could resonate with the people here more. There were only about 30 people here, but everyone had a fire in their hearts. They didn't do anything to help with this, but they were involved in this battle. They didn't retreat from the beginning to the end. Now that the flames had receded, they were also very excited and honored. Everyone knew that since the flames have retreated but no one went in. The weakest here was nascent soul states, so they weren't dumb. The Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds had been burned for countless years. There would definitely be many top-grade materials there. Since Yemo didn't say anything, it would be disrespectful of them to go in. Yemo's status was very high in their hearts now, and no one wanted to disrespect him. At this moment, the kitchen knife suddenly flew up and disappeared into the depth of the Forbidden Grounds. Yemo appeared in their spirit sense, and everyone heard Yemo's voice. Everyone, the flames have been annihilated by me. There are large amounts of extreme flame star gold inside. Go in and find them, they belong to whoever finds them. Good luck, everyone. Extreme flame star gold? Everyone was dazed by this news. This was very rare top-grade material in the cultivation realm. It was said it was beyond level 10, and a fingernail-sized one was worth a fortune. Yet Yemo said there was quite a lot inside. What was going on? But everyone believed Yemo, so everyone charged into the forbidden grounds without hesitation. Even Shanyu was excited. Her mind state was very high, but it didn't mean she could remain calm about extreme flame star gold. The flames had completely receded now, and despite the temperature still being very high now, it was enough for even golden core state cultivators to handle. Plus, the temperature would only get lower and lower as time went on. In a short time, everyone came to the depth of the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. So this is a gray rink land, some cultivators exclaimed. It's probably burned to a rink by the flames. It might not be like this before. Other than a few sect leader chatting with Yemo, more cultivators were searching for the extreme flame star gold. There really is extreme flame star gold. I found such a large piece. One hollow spirit state grabbed a Longan-sized rock and called out in joy. With this, more and more people were crazed. Even the sect leader couldn't resist searching for extreme flame star gold. Soon, more and more people found extreme flame star gold. Yemo only took some big ones. He didn't even pick up many of the small ones. Yemo suddenly thought of a question. The Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds had been around for an extremely long time. Why did it suddenly burst out coincidentally the same time as Lu Jingchuan's disaster on South Peace State? Yemo didn't believe Lu Jingchuan left that ore behind. Yemo felt it was extremely precious. How can Lu Jingchuan leave such thing behind? But this was very hard to say. His view was limited to the cultivation realm. Perhaps that ore wasn't worth anything in the cultivation realm. Thinking about this, Yemo walked to Qianwei, who was picking up an extreme flame star gold. Seeing this, Qianwei stopped. Sect leader Qianwei, I want to ask, how long had this Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds been around for? Why are there so many extreme flame star gold? What flames would be needed to create them? Yemo asked. Qianwei thought and answered. The Flame Sea has been in South Peace State since antiquity. I'm not very clear if it's 100,000 or million years, but it's said that every year, the flames would expand out a little, but the range is very small. A completely outburst like this had never happened before. Yemo breathed easy. In that case, Lu Jingchuan couldn't have possibly set it up. Lu Jingchuan probably didn't come here as well, or there was no way he wouldn't take that ore. Being able to release such heat after a million years, it was definitely no ordinary ore. Qianwei continued. I'm only heard of extreme grade, and this is my first time seeing it. It's said it belongs in the void. I really don't know why it's here. Only a forgery Grand Master with Heaven Flame would be able to add it to magic artifact. Yemo nodded. It was indeed from the void. The Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds was small, but with so many high-level cultivators here, the extreme flame star golds were quickly searched clean. Luckily, everyone got something. At least 2 extreme flame star gold. Seeing this, Yemo said, Friend, thank you for staying and guarding the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. I'm willing to help everyone concoct a cauldron of pills. The time would be half a month later at Flowing Snake City. Everyone can go find me there with Spirit Herb. With this promise, everyone rejoiced and all went up to thank Yemo. Yemo left a flying sword to Du Xiuying and said, Xiuying, go back to Mou City with Qianwei sect leader. I still need to go Ju Fu Mountain. Everyone knew that Yemo was going for the firebug demon. Du Xiuying knew she couldn't find an excuse to go with Yemo this time and nodded helplessly. Seeing that Yemo was about to leave again, and everything he did was for the South Peace State, everyone was more and more grateful of Yemo. Even Shan Yu took out a jade card in excitement. City Lord Yi, this is our Clear Dream Mosque jade card. If you need our help, please ask. Seeing this, Qianwei, Yan Guan and them all did the same. Those sects below 8-star thought Yemo wouldn't take their sect card, but Yemo took them all and thanked. Everyone knew that at Yemo's power level, he didn't need the help of other sects at all. Ling Xiaoshuang was in the Clear Dream Mosque and thus had a very indifferent attitude towards relationship, but seeing Yemo give Du Shuiying a flying sword before leaving, she felt a little unhappy. Immediately, she cast that aside, feeling her mentality was very stupid. The incident at the Flame Sea had ended and Yemo left. Even Yemo would need a few days to reach Jufu Mountain. Yemo was very annoyed. Fire-eating bug demon escaped from the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. He was only truth realization state level 3 at the time and couldn't stop him from leaving. Now that he was truth realization state level 8, he wasn't going to let the same thing happen again. A day later, Yemo stopped Blue Moon. His spirit sense scanned into a small mosque in an ordinary village. What wasn't ordinary was that Yemo saw a familiar person there, Qing Nana. At this moment, she had shaved her head and became a nun. She held a stick and a wooden bell and just knocked dazedly. Yemo immediately knew something happened to her. Yemo walked towards the mosque without hesitation. Before he got there, a girl with freckles stopped him. "You men, are you not afraid of death? All of you are lustful demons. A few has died and more wants to go in. Move aside," Yemo said coldly. Seeing Yemo was quite ferocious, the girl grunted. "Go in then if you're not scared of dying." Seeing Yemo go in, the girl mumbled. "He looks quite good, but seeing a pretty nun, he can't control his pants. I have to deal with the body later." As soon as Yemo came here, a wind blade came. Clearly Qing Nana used it. She just subconsciously used it. Qing Nana was nascent soul state level 5, she didn't even need to use her brain to kill an ordinary villager. Yemo flung the wind blade away and walked in. As though feeling someone was here, Qing Nana looked at Yemo with her empty eyes. She didn't talk as though she didn't know Yemo. Yemo knew that Qing Nana was traumatized mentally. In another while, her cultivation essence would go into chaos, and she would be dead for sure. Without hesitation, Yemo gave her a few clear mind spell. After that, Qing Nana breathed and opened her eyes again, but this time, her eyes were different. She quickly recognized Yemo and got up, calling out in worry. "Brother!" Yemo frowned. "Nana, what are you doing? Why don't you cultivate in Mou City? Why are you being a nun here?" Qing Nana dazed and teared up. Finally, she couldn't control herself and cried on the stone table nearby. Yemo didn't know why she was this sad but didn't continue asking. He could ask after as she calmed down. After 5 minutes, Qing Nana eased up and got up. She sniffed. "Sorry, big brother, what happened? Tell me, could there be anyone in Mou City to make you unhappy?" Yemo was speechless. Qing Nana quickly said, "No, it's just me. I don't want to cultivate anymore." Yemo sighed. "In that case, come back with me. Are you going to stay as a nun here for the rest of your life?" Qing Nana shook her head. "Big brother, sorry, I don't ever want to go back. I feel it's the same to live the rest of my life like this." Then, she began crying again. Yemo frowned and said with a tougher tone, "No, you must come with me. Just look at you, something might happen to you." She clearly didn't have the will to live before. Who knows what would happen if she would be like that again. She was fine with ordinary people, but if a slightly powerful cultivator came, such as Golden Core State, she would be in danger. She was pretty and her storage ring would make countless cultivators drool. Yemo was thinking of what he should do if she didn't want to come when she agreed this time. "Yes, big brother." Yemo breathed easy. If she didn't want to, he couldn't force her. She wasn't a kid anymore. She made this conscious decision. When Yemo and Qing Nana got to the door, a Foundation Establishment State and Golden Core State came over. Seeing them, they dazed. "Big brother, it's this woman, look at her hand." The Foundation Establishment State said to the Golden Core State next to him, and his eyes fell on her storage ring. The Golden Core State nodded and saluted with his fists. "Friend, everyone has a share, plus my brother saw her first. She's very pretty indeed. We don't take her person, we just want her storage ring where we can share it." Yemo didn't expect that as soon as he thought she would be in danger, people really came. If he didn't come and she stayed in that state, no one would know what would happen. Seeing this, Chingnana being surprised, Yemo sighed. You were mindless, and that foundation establishment state wanted to rob your things but was struck by your wind blade. Now, he found someone else clearly to rob you. How long have you been here? Chingnana just realized she was a nascent soul state level 5 and yet a golden core state level 1 and foundation establishment state level 8 wanted to rob her. She released her flying sword without hesitation. The flying sword spun and flew towards the golden core state like lightning. The golden core state could only call out, "Nascent soul state cultivator," and was killed by the flying sword. The foundation establishment state was also killed before he could talk. Killing these two, Chingnana seemed to be a little relieved and felt better. She put away her flying sword and didn't dare to look at Yemo. Big brother, sorry. Yemo waved his hand. Don't always say sorry, I'm your big brother, this is nothing. What happened, tell me. Yemo was happy with how decisive Chingnana was, she had been testing herself outside. Chingnana hesitated and said, Big brother, I. Yemo could tell she didn't want to talk about it. It was her private matter. Yemo couldn't really force her, so he said, Since you don't want to talk about it, don't say it. When you're ready to tell me, then tell me. If not, you can try chatting to Yang Zhu or Jin Wen. Chingnana agreed. Yemo took her on Blue Moon and said, I'm going to Jufu Mountain to kill fire-eating bug demon. If there's anything cultivation related, tell me. Then, Yemo took out a storage ring and gave it to her. There's many cultivation resources here, your power is too low. You should be much stronger with your talent, you need to use time to cultivate. Yemo said. However, Yemo didn't expect her eyes to go red and start crying again. Fuju Mountain was a very ordinary place, but then a sect formed here, but it was also very ordinary. It was now famous as the fire-eating bug demon stayed here. Many people knew about fire-eating bug demon being annihilated by Chu Jiuyu, but no one expected that this guy was still alive. Blue Moon stopped above the mountain, but Yemo didn't go down immediately. This place was a mess. The mountains have collapsed and ravines were everywhere. Blue Moon stopped above the mountain, but Yemo didn't go down immediately. This place was a mess. The mountains have collapsed and ravines were everywhere. Yemo looked at the ground. There was fire-eating bug bodies everywhere. Yemo immediately knew someone had a battle with the fire-eating bug demon here, but it wasn't clear who won. Yemo knew that when he sliced off the fire-eating bug demon's arm, he probably didn't even 30% of his power left. Since he dared to come out, it meant he had completely recovered. A full-powered fire-eating bug demon with countless fire-eating bugs was only a little bit weaker than Hong Yixing. Now that someone could have a huge battle with him, and the outcome was undecided. Yemo thought it was very hard to find someone like Yu Zizhen in the South Peace State, but since this person could fight with fire-eating bug demon, he was clearly on par with Yu Zizhen at least. Since that person could kill this many fire-eating bugs, he could probably kill Yu Zizhen. Yemo scanned around and didn't see any signs of the fire-eating bug demon. Both those cultivators were gone. After a long while, Yemo's spirit sense stopped at a destroyed restriction, and looking inside, he realized why the fire-eating bug demon stayed here. He left behind a fire-eating bug hive here. From this, it was clear that his power hadn't fully recovered and ended up fighting someone here. The mountain was destroyed and countless fire-eating bugs died. Let's go, the fire-eating bug demon is gone, there's no point staying here, Yemo said disappointedly. But suddenly Yemo said again, Wait! Yemo took Blue Moon in a blue and appeared before two girls. They too were about to leave and were shocked they were suddenly stopped by Blue Moon. It's you! The blue cultivator-robed female cultivator saw Yemo and called out in shock. Huh, brother Yi! The other aqua-dressed female cultivator said worriedly. Her tone was even shaky. Yemo knew both of them. The blue-dressed was Winsai. After Infinity Sect was annihilated, they went into hiding. Yemo thought they would reopen their sect somewhere, but he didn't expect to encounter Winsai here. Emo didn't dare to believe the other one was Yunzi. Sword Valley was annihilated by Infinity Sect. Why was Yunzi with Wensai? The two seemed to be very close. And why were they here? Emo didn't say anything and just stared at Yunzi. He completely ignored Wensai. Brother Yi, I need to go with Sai. There was more worry in her eyes and she didn't even dare to look at Emo in the eyes. Zi Luo Fei, Gon Liang and them are all in MOU City. Are you not going to come back with me? Or do you want to explain things? Emo frowned and asked. Hearing this, there was more worry and guilt in Yunzi's eyes. Wensai scanned Qingnana and said, The tales are true. If Sister Z went with you it would be bad. Even if you kill me, you can't stop what other people say. Yunzi quickly stopped Wensai. Sai, stop, Brother Yi isn't that sort of person. Then she said worriedly, Brother Yi, sorry, I won't go to MOU City. Sai is blunt, don't take it seriously. Emo said calmly, It's up to you if you go MOU City. I was just inviting you. Am I going to kidnap you there? But Yunzi, what I want to say is one shouldn't forget his roots. Sword Valley was annihilated by the Infinity Sect. Now you're with someone from the Infinity Sect. What is the meaning of this? Sorry, Brother Yi, I choose my own path. Sei isn't a member of the Infinity Sect now. She saved my life. Yunzi didn't know how to explain to Emo. Emo really wanted to tell her about her father, but thinking of what she did, he suddenly lost interest. So what if he told her? Wensai suddenly pulled Yunzi and said, Z, do you owe him or what? Did he help you with something? You don't owe him. Why are you being like this? Then she sneered at Emo. City Lord Yi, your power is higher than ours and you can even easily annihilate 9-star sect. Of course it's easy for you to kill us. You can kill us, but what right do you have to make Z go with you to MOU City? Sai, don't talk to Brother Yi like that. Yunzi said. Why are you here? Emo lost the will to invite her to MOU City. Wensai said coldly, City Lord Yi, we're both women. We're doing some female private things. Are you going to ask about it too? Z, let's go. Wensai pulled Yunzi onto the flying magic artifact. Brother Yi, I didn't do bad things, Yunzi said and was flown away. Emo didn't chase up. He didn't believe the two girls came here randomly, but Emo wouldn't believe they would be able to fight with the fire-eating bug demon. Emo suddenly thought of something and took the blue moon back to Jufu Mountain. The scene seemed like the Battle of Truth realization states, but when he checked it again carefully, Emo sneered at the direction the two disappeared. He didn't chase up. He believed that Yunzi didn't annihilate the sects, but he guessed the two killed the fire-eating bug demon. He really didn't know how though. If they didn't do that, they would set up a truth realization state battle scene. After standing for a long while, Emo said slowly, Nana, let's go back to MOU City. Qingnana still hasn't said anything up until now. Blue Moon went very fast. Emo wanted to take her back to MOU City so Jingwen and Yiling could comfort her. A day later, Emo scanned into MOU Lake. Tang Beiwei, Song Yangzhu and Su Tong were talking. Su Tong also had red eyes and seemed very dejected. Brother, you're back. Huh, Nana, you're back too. Tang Beiwei greeted, but when she saw Qingnana's bald head, her expression turned to shock. Song Yangzhu greeted. Yiling and Su Jingwen came over too. Yiling seemed depressed too. Seeing this, Emo asked, What happened? Su Tong didn't talk, but Tang Beiwei said, Before Emo came back, Nana missed Zifeng, so she wanted to go out and search for him. Qinshua's sister was worried for their safety, so she left Brother Lin and Sister Su Tong go with them. Su Tong suddenly said, Then we encountered Zifeng in Uo's city. Emo called out in shock, You found Zifeng? Where is he? Tang Beiwei said, He was with Nan Gong Xiao Dai. They seemed very intimate. Then, he cursed Nana, saying that she was shameless for being with you. Then, he told Nana to piss off and never let him see again. Then, he said that Emo has nothing to do with him anymore. Nana cried on the spot and charged out of the city. Emo's face sunk. He knew Yi Zifeng's character. He wasn't this dominating person who would kick Nan crazily away before even knowing the situation. Why didn't Sister Su and Brother Lin stop Nana from going? Yemo was annoyed but asked calmly. Yemo knew this Nangong Shaodai of course, 1 South Peace State 10 Beauties, she was of the Nangong village. It was the original fish jump through Dragon Gate, the 9-star village. But Chu Jiuyu left, and the 9-star village declined, so the Nangong family took over. Yemo knew this Nangong Shaodai of course, 1 South Peace State 10 Beauties, she was of the Nangong village. It was the original fish jump through Dragon Gate, the 9-star village. But Chu Jiuyu left, and the 9-star village declined, so the Nangong family took over. Lin Yibin constantly wanted to take it back, but he was only cauldron-filling state, and was far from challenging the 8-star power. Yemo was planning to go over, but he didn't intend to help Lin Yibin. Lin Yibin probably didn't want him to help as well. To him, it would be the best if he took it back himself. Su Tong replied. Nangong Shaodai and Yi Zifeng were outside. The young generation direct lineage Nangong Pingjin was there too. Lin Yibin saw him and sneered at him. Nangong Pingjin sneered back. If it wasn't that Weibin and I were part of MOU City, we might be killed on the spot. The argument caught a lot of attention. Yuban in his fury was about to attack, but he fell into Nangong Pingjin's trap. They gave out all the things to their side and only kept an offensive magic artifact to have a battle to the death. No one knows where they went, but they both said in front of many people that regardless, no one else can intervene. When was this? Yemo felt something was wrong and asked. It's been a month, after Yibin left. I was mindless and I didn't know Nana left. I waited for 10 days there, BTU Weibin didn't come back. In my worry, I came back to MOU City. Su Tong said. The more Yemo thought about this, the more eerie he felt it was. Chung Nana suddenly found Yi Zifeng, and why did Nangong Pingjin suddenly appear? Brother, that Yi Zifeng is too disgusting. This person is wasting spirit chi by being alive. Nana used her cultivation time to find him all these years. She finally found him, and yet he's such an animal. Tang Boei said. Then, she looked apologetically at Yi Ling. Sister Ling, don't take it to the heart. Seeing Qing Nana was still crying, she turned around and comforted. Nana, if I was you, I would have kicked away such heartless person. What's there to be sad about? Seeing Susu, Qingxue and them not being here, Yemo knew they were probably in solitary cultivation. Tang Beiwei was about to say more, but Yemo waved his hand. I'm going to Nangong Village, Su Tong and Nana come with me. I'll go too, Tang Beiwei said without hesitation. Brother, I'll go ask second brother too, Yi Ling said. Yemo nodded. Beiwei, don't go. You have so much cultivation resources stacked here, and yet with your talent you're only nascent soul state level 9. Jin Gwen is about to reach cauldron-filling state. Even Yang Zhu is catching up to you. Hurry up and cultivate. Seeing that Tang Beiwei still wanted to say something, Song Yang Zhu quickly pulled her. Beiwei, your brother is right. The Immortal Ascension Tunnel is open now. Do you want to stay here by yourself when everyone ascends? Hearing this, Tang Beiwei immediately agreed to go cultivate. Be careful, Yemo has been cultivating very hard. Her progress is very fast, don't worry. Song Yangzhu tidied Yemo's clothes and said, South Peace City, the most heated discussion topic in restaurants and spirit rest towers was about City Lord Yi annihilating few 100 million sand soul beasts, and then 1,000 km of spirit devouring bugs. But the most catching topic was Yemo quenching the flames of the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds, as many people got extreme flame star gold from there. The High Bend Spirit Rest Tower had a good location and fair price, thus it was very full. Those sects who left the Forbidden Grounds are probably regretting their arses off now. Extreme flame star gold, just one piece and I'd be rich. Pity I wasn't there. A golden core state fantasized. So what if you were there? Seeing the 9-star sects leave, it would be a miracle if you stayed. Those who stayed there either don't fear death or are noble. They deserve to get the extreme flame star gold. I heard that after City Lord Yi got to the Forbidden Grounds, he waved his hand and took all the flames inside. Then, there was extreme flame star gold everywhere. On top of that, City Lord Yi promised every cultivator who stayed there that he would concoct a cauldron of pills for them. Do you know that any cultivator who stayed there is highly sought after? At this moment, another Golden Core State middle stage fat cultivator said, Did you know, Ethereal Immortal Pond Ho Fei Goddess openly said she would dual cultivate with City Lord Yi, but City Lord Yi ignored him. No way, Ho Fei Goddess is someone so prideful and cold. How is that impossible? It's definitely true. City Lord Yi is powerful, but he doesn't open up to change. If it was me, I would get her in my hands first. Such an ice-cold beauty, Fat Man Fei, you don't want to live, you dare to talk about City Lord Yi and Ho Fei Goddess, quickly shut up. At this moment, a dark ray flew over and the fat cultivator's head was immediately smashed. Everyone got up in shock and moved aside. An extremely beautiful female cultivator and a white-robed man sat there without moving. Everyone knew that they attacked. Martial Sister Lin has such good moves. The white man applauded. The female cultivator looked at the white-robed man in contempt. Killing a Golden Core State insect is called good moves? The man coughed awkwardly, but the female cultivator said coldly, If I hear anyone disrespect Ho Fei Goddess again, I will kill them all. All the cultivators nodded fearfully and quickly left. Seeing this, the beautiful young girl said coldly, Insolent bunch, 1000 km of spirit-devouring bugs, is that something that humans can do? Quenching the flame sea forbidden grounds with a wave. They really know how to imagine. Extreme flame star gold, that's something of the cosmos, since when was it everywhere in the cultivation realm? Bunch of idiots. Martial Sister, why say so much to these insolent people? They don't know what the endless cosmos is. The male said sycophantically. This time, the female cultivator seemed to enjoy it and nodded. You're really bad. You had one purple flame and was a level 6 pill king, but you lost to a guy younger than you. The male cultivator immediately said, Martial Sister, you can't blame me, that guy was acting weak. He was a mere nascent soul state cultivator and an solo cultivator, so I didn't mind. But he started with soul flame and eventually took out Miss Lotus Heart Fire. If I knew he had it, I wouldn't let him step foot on the 12 pill king steps. The beautiful girl glared coldly at him. Master gave you one purple flame, but you used it to lose to Miss Lotus Heart Fire. The male cultivator said awkwardly, Martial Sister, if you help me this time, I will do anything you tell me to do next time. The female cultivator said, Master is preparing for immortal ascension. I came back to greet Sister. I'm preparing to break through to truth realization state middle stage. I can only help you one last time. You're a level 6 pill king, you can deal with things yourself. How do you want me to help you? The male cultivator said joyfully, If you can take his Miss Lotus Heart Fire, I can do the rest myself. I'm going to beat him in pill concoction in the pill city and then kill him. I don't want the Miss Lotus Heart Fire, you can keep it. I know if you don't beat him in pill concoction, you will forever stay level 6 pill king. Okay, I'll help you this time. Where is he? The beautiful female cultivator said without hesitation. Ever since I left South Peace State to find you, he was still in Pill City. Let's go there first. The white-robed man said. This white-robed man was Jiu Qian, who lost to Emo in the Pill King tournament. He went to get help in the Heartless Sea and didn't know all the things that happened in South Peace State. This white-robed man was Jiu Qian, who lost to Emo in the Pill King tournament. He went to get help in the Heartless Sea and didn't know all the things that happened in South Peace State. As soon as Jiu Qian and his martial sister got up, they were stopped by the two cultivators. They were clearly South Peace city guards. The female cultivator killed people here. They were clearly here to capture them. Seeing the city guard dared to stop her, she immediately released her chi. The guards were pushed back and said in shock, Truth Realization State Qian Bei. Nagong Village was just an 8-star sect, but it was the most mysterious sect in South Peace State. It rarely had any public events, and no one went there. They rarely went out to events too. Even in this South Peace State disaster, they didn't show up. But now, Yemo was outside. He always wanted to see this FJW village. City Lord Ye's honored arrival makes the Nangong village feel very proud. A disaster transformation state level 5 opened the door as soon as Blue Moon landed. Yemo nodded and took Yiling and them in without any precaution. Yemo scanned his spirit sense out. He wouldn't feel embarrassed, but soon he found there was formation everywhere. They were all very high level. Yemo guessed they were probably left behind by Chu Jiuyu. City Lord Yi, please. The disaster transformation state invited Yemo in. The village seemed very welcoming of Yemo's arrival. The disaster transformation state led Yemo to the main hall. The door was open and cultivators were already lined up as though welcoming Yemo's arrival. At the door was a middle-aged man. He had a smile of extreme confidence. Seeing them come in, he quickly got up and walked forward, saluted with his fists. Nangong Village Nangong Su greets City Lord Yi. It's really the honor of the Nangong Village for City Lord Yi to come here. City Lord Yi, this is our family leader Nangong Su. The disaster transformation state introduced. Su Tong said coarsely. Nangong Village? This should be Chu Family 9-star Village. Nangong Su smiled plainly. Martial Sister XU is right. This was indeed 9-star Village before, but I don't know if it belonged to the Chu family. Because of this, I'm very regretful, but what's the difference if we call it different names? Nangong Pingjin and Brother Yibin are both very talented, but their temper is too hot, sigh. Nangong Su then said respectfully. City Lord Yi, please have the upper seat. Yemo was speechless. Even Yemo felt this Nangong Su was too shameless. What right did a disaster transformation state level 9 to be this cocky? Yemo was speechless, but he just walked up to the top seat and sat down. Then he said, Where did Lin Yibin and Nangong Pingjin fight? Then Yemo realized he saw wrong. Nangong Su was no disaster transformation state level 9 but truth realization state level 4. He used the stealth cultivation method. Even he almost missed it. This was definitely top-grade stealth technique. It might have been left behind by Chu Jiuyu. Yemo scanned around. Only Nangong Su was truth realization state cultivator amongst these people. Yemo wasn't sure if there were more truth realization state, but Yemo was certain that the Nangong village was number 8-star sect. Hearing that, the first thing Yemo asked about was Lin Yibin and Yi Zifeng. Nangong Su was a little surprised. What? Is there something you can't talk about, sect leader Nangong? Yemo's voice suddenly went cold hearing that Nangong Su didn't answer. Even if Lin Yibin was unable to beat Nangong Pingjin, he would go disappear. After all, the two's power were similar. Before, Yemo thought that the Nangong village definitely wouldn't dare to attack Lin Yibin, but now he didn't think so. They hid so much, and even the sect leader was truth realization state level 4. No, it's that they really flew off too fast. We don't know where they went to fight. I've sent people searching for a month and there's still no news now. Nangong Su quickly got up. Yemo sneered. Tell Yi Zifeng to come. Seeing that Yemo finally talked about Yi Zifeng, Nangong Su quickly said, Zifeng and Xiaodai are together. He doesn't want to come out. He says might as well not see each other. Yemo said calmly, I'll wait 10 seconds. If I don't see Yi Zifeng, Nangong village will become a thing of the past. Everyone in the hall was furious. They heard Yemo was dominant but didn't expect he was dominant to this extent. Nangong Xu's veins popped out, but he still said calmly, City Lord Yi is quite funny. Yemo glanced at Nangong Su and said, Sect leader Nangong thinks I'm a funny person? 10 seconds is about to be up. This time Nangong Su didn't talk and said to a nascent soul state cultivator, Invite him over. Yes. Moments later, Yi Zifeng and an extremely beautiful woman appeared here. They held hands and were indeed extremely intimate. Qing Nana saw Yi Zifeng and her eyes went red, but when she saw Nangong Xiaodai next to him, she didn't dare to talk. She even lowered her head. Compared to Nangong Xiaodai, she was far too low. Yemo dazed when he saw Yi Zifeng. He heard Qing Nana say that he didn't have spirit root, yet Yi Zifeng was hollow spirit state. What was going on? Second brother, why don't you talk to Nana? You know we're all at MOU City, why don't you go over? What did big brother owe you? Why do you undermine him? Is it all for the woman next to you? Nana had been searching for you for a few years and you treat her like this? Yiling bursted out a series of questions. Nangong Xiaodai frowned but didn't talk and just looked at Yi Zifeng. Yiling, if you're willing to listen to me, stay with me here. Don't go back to Mou City. As for the bitch next to you, I hope you don't stay with her. Yi Zifeng said calmly. There was no joy of siblings' reunion. Yiling looked dazedly at Yi Zifeng. She couldn't believe her brother was like this. Qing Nana didn't expect she was still cursed after coming with Yemo and immediately cried out. If Yemo wasn't here, she would have ran off already. Yiling and Su Tong quickly went to comfort her, but they didn't know how to. Second brother, how can you treat her like that? Are you being controlled or possessed? Yiling began to suspect. Yi Zifeng was a very amicable person. How could he suddenly be like this? Yemo suddenly said, he's not being controlled nor possessed. Even if Yi Zifeng got a spirit root, he was only a hollow spirit state cultivator. What right did he have for the Nangong family to value him? If they wanted to use Yi Zifeng against him, it was possible, but then Nangong Xiaodai shouldn't be given to him. She was very talented and beautiful. Why would they casually give her? Yemo could easily tell that they had already slept together. Yemo had no blood relations with Yi Zifeng, and seeing this attitude, Yemo completely ended the thought of letting him go back to Mou City. He couldn't even be bothered talking. He stared at Nangong Su. Sect leader Nangong, I'll give you a day. If Lin Yibin still has no news, I will still annihilate the Nangong village. Nangong Su dazed, and after a while he said, City Lord Yi, are you going to be reasonable? You're right, I'm not a reasonable person. Yemo said coldly. Such dominance. Yi Zifeng sneered. Yemo was decisive and said coldly, Yi Zifeng, it has always been you owing me. I don't owe you anything and I have no relationship with you. You made my Luo Yu into a mess, and I didn't kill you not because of your dad and that little power of your Yi family, it's because of past relations. Now our relationship is severed. If you dare to challenge Mou City or me, I will annihilate you too. Yemo was decisive and said coldly, Yi Zifeng, it has always been you owing me. I don't owe you anything and I have no relationship with you. You made my Luo Yu into a mess, and I didn't kill you not because of your dad and that little power of your Yi family, it's because of past relations. Now our relationship is severed. If you dare to challenge Mou City or me, I will annihilate you too. Yi Zifeng shivered. He had only seen Yemo do this to others, but now that Yemo said this to him today, he felt cold and didn't dare to say anything. Seeing big brother and second brother fight with each other, Yiling was losing her mind. She didn't know who to comfort. Why couldn't the three siblings cooperate in this unfamiliar land? She reminisced the Luo Yu times. She couldn't cultivate, but the three siblings were united. But Yiling knew Yi Zifeng was her real brother. Yemo had no blood relationship to her. She should be helping Yi Zifeng and stay at Nangong village. But she knew Yi Zifeng's guess was purely unreasonable. Yemo would definitely not do anything with Nana. Yiling, if you trust me, stay with me here. We're blood-related siblings. Are you going to trust an outsider? Do you not want to trust me? Yi Zifeng didn't dare to talk to Yemo but talked to Yiling. Yiling was already lost, and now that Yi Zifeng said this, she cried on Su Tong's shoulder. She didn't know what to choose. Su Tong comforted Yiling. At this moment, Qing Nana suddenly took out a necklace and smashed it. Then she took out a red booklet and ripped it to pieces and said with decisiveness, Yi Zifeng, thank you loving me before. Big brother was going to kill me, but you saved me. I'm an orphan, I have no parents, no one has ever treated me genuinely like you. I thought in this life I would be satisfied with you. But today, I realized I'm wrong to you. There are things more important than me. I regret letting you take me into that teleportation formation, but I'm also glad I did this. Otherwise, how would I know this is the real you? Don't undermine Big Brother. It's okay if you do that to me. I owe you, but Big Brother doesn't. I don't owe you anything from now on. I'll give back what you gave me. Seeing the smashed necklace and torn book, Yi Zifeng suddenly felt something in his heart was taken away. If there was someone who knew him the greatest, it was Qing Nana. He could tell what she meant just then. She meant that he was willing to undermine his big brother to reach his goal. Soon, Yi Zifeng cast that sliver of emotion aside. There was a sliver of sadness in his eyes. But Yi Mo felt something wrong. After Qing Nana threw the things away, she suddenly patted at her head. Clearly, she wanted to suicide. Yi Mo sighed. Qing Nana's hand was locked in space by his domain. Su Tong and Yi Ling just realized that Qing Nana wanted to suicide. Nana, what are you doing? Yi Ling cast her worry aside and quickly held Qing Nana's hands. Qing Nana smiled bitterly to Yi Ling and then walked out and bowed to Yi Mo. Big brother, thank you for saving me again. Yi Mo sighed. Nana, what can't you get over? You've lived on Earth before. There are so many people who divorce but they still live. Qing Nana shook her head. Big brother, I forgot about the past. I'm going. Where are you going? Come back to Mou City with us. Yi Mo said worriedly. Qing Nana bowed to Yi Mo and said, Big brother, that's the last time I will suicide. It won't happen again. I won't go back to Mou City. I have been living for others before. From now on, I will live for myself. If you're concerned about what other people say, then don't worry. Just cultivate in Mou City and one day you will be able to ascend to the immortal realm. Yi Mo said. He was afraid that Qing Nana was tried to avoid rumors and thus left. Then she turned to Nangong Xiaodai. Nangong Xiaodai, you're indeed prettier than me, but someone who can abandon a wife who stayed with him through the hard times won't necessarily keep other things. Then, Qing Nana walked out of the hall slowly. Yi Mo knew that after this, she would never come back. Yi Zifeng completely traumatized her. No one knew why she left, only Qing Nana knew herself. It wasn't to avoid rumors, she didn't care. She stayed at Mou City because Yi Mo was Yi Zifeng's brother. Yi Ling was also at Mou City and there were other influences. She might as well leave early. Yi Ling looked dazedly at Qing Nana's disappearing figure and after a long while roared at Yi Zifeng. Yi Zifeng, did your conscience get eaten by a dog? Is it just because this woman is prettier? Why? Tell me? For some reason, Yi Zifeng didn't say anything and just stood silently. No one knew why he did this other than himself. No one knew what he went through after leaving Qing Nana. No one knew what torture he went through. When Qing Nana was standing happily and talking with her martial brothers, he was like a dog crying far away. After countless misfortunes, he decided that even if he was about to die, he would cultivate. The hall fell silent due to Qing Nana's departure. Nangong Xiaodai could tell Yi Zifeng was despondent and held his hand closely. Clearly, she cared a lot about him. The Nangong village is very regretful that this happened. Xiaodai and Zifeng's connection is very deep. Nangong Su saw Yi Mo's face was bad and was scared he would find an excuse. Su Tong sneered coldly. Nangong Su, stop calling here Nangong Village. This isn't Nangong Village, this is Chu Family 9-Star Village. Hearing this, Nangong Su was scared that Yi Mo would make them leave and give this village back to Chu family, so he quickly said, City Lord Yi, this village indeed belonged to the Nangong family before. Hearing this, Yi Mo felt strange. Was there something here? Nangong Su didn't want to give this up at all. Would a master like Chu Jiuyu set up a village at an ordinary place and place so many formations here? But he couldn't really search the entire place over now. Ha! Su Tong laughed. Nangong Su, don't you feel embarrassed? 9-Star Village belongs to Nangong family? How come I heard that the Nangong family was only a house servant of the Chu family? However, Nangong Su said calmly, of course there are some things you don't know. When Chu Jiuyu came to South Peace State, he was far from his prime. He had a master here, and that master was the ancestor of the Nangong family, Nangong Zaitian. Our ancestor stayed at the Fish Jump Through Dragon Gate village, but at the time it wasn't a village yet. Then, my ancestor left this place to Chu Jiuyu and another ancestor of the Nangong family. Chu Jiuyu established Fish Jump Through Dragon Gate village here. The other ancestor of ours didn't like to fight over power, so he became a manager here. Regardless of what village this was called, all the managers had the surname Nangong. I believe you know this, right? Hearing this, Su Tong was lost for words. Nangong Su made Su Tong shut up. Nangong Su made Su Tong shut up. Yemo was speechless. He wasn't planning on helping Lin Yibin get back the Nangong village, but now that it was uncertain if the village even belonged to them to begin with, the more he couldn't intervene in this. At this moment, a flying sword suddenly flew in and landed on Su Tong's hands. Su Tong looked at it, and there was overjoy in her face. Yibin is back, he's in Yuo City. Then, she got up, clearly she couldn't wait to see him. Yemo glanced at Nangong Su. He was certain that Lin Yibin wasn't back due to the Nangong family. They were testing his bottom line. If he didn't overreact, then Lin Yibin might never come back. There was no way Nangong village could leave an enemy like that growing in the MOU city. But Yi Mo's reaction was far beyond their anticipation and said multiple times he would annihilate the village. Thus, there was news of Lin Yibin so quickly. Yi Mo suddenly asked, "Is Brother Lin injured or not? If he's injured just a little bit, I will get it back for him." "No, Yibin says he's very fine. If I go back to MOU City, he would go back immediately too," Su Tong said. Yemo nodded. "It's not far from Yuo City here. Tell him that we'll come over soon. If he's injured, I will come back." Hearing Yemo's threats, the Nangong village cultivators were furious, but no one dared to say anything. Anything that Yemo did wasn't something the Nangong village could defend against. No matter how powerful they weren't as powerful as the Pill City and the 1000 km of spirit-devouring bugs. Yemo got up. He came to bring Yi Zifeng back, but now they were basically enemies. Even though he came, Yi Zifeng was still like this, meaning he had made up his mind. Yuling was still hesitant, but seeing how Yi Zifeng almost forced Qing Nana to suicide, she got up with Yemo without hesitation and left the village. Yemo looked at Nangong Su and smiled before adding, "Sect leader Nangong, you better not give me an excuse to annihilate the Nangong village. If I have this excuse, I will annihilate it without hesitation." Nangong Su was shaking with anger, but there was nothing he could do. Power was everything in the cultivation realm. Yemo seemed unreasonable, but there really weren't much like him. If it was some other cultivator, he wouldn't need an excuse to annihilate Nangong village. Yemo could indeed annihilate them, but he really couldn't do it. There was no enmity between them, and this was private matter between Chu and Nangong family. It wasn't good for him to intervene. He wasn't alone, and have some fame in South Peace State now. He finally built up some connections for MOU City. He killed the 11 Truth Realization State of Pill City, Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect, because they had great enmity with him. People wouldn't say anything. If he annihilated Nangong village for no reason, no one would dare to say anything, but South Peace State cultivators would look at MOU City with a completely different view. Yemo didn't want MOU City to become an overlord. He was MOU City Lord now, but he was going to immortal ascension sooner or later. MOU City would still exist. If everyone hated MOU City, then no matter how powerful MOU City, it wouldn't last very long. Nangong Su looked at the people behind and said, "You saw what happened today. I just hope you can all remember the insult of today and get revenge for the family one day." Seeing the three go, Nangong Shaogai clenched her fists and said, "I will definitely kill this arrogant bastard." Pill City was still much more prosperous than ordinary cultivation cities, wasn't on the same level as before. Outside a luxurious room, 5 cultivators were discussing something. One man and woman was Jiu Qian and her martial sister Lin. But now, their face was very bad. "Chang Shun Pill King, is Yemo really that powerful? He killed 11 Pill City Truth Realization State together, and annihilated 2 9-star sects and even 1000 km of spirit-devouring bugs? He even quenched the flames of Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds?" Jiu Qian's martial sister confirmed with a frown. Chang Shun Pill King nodded. "That's absolutely true. My disciple has great enmity with Yemo. He would care about his every action. There's crystal ball here." Then, Chang Shun Pill King took out a crystal ball and an egg-sized ore. "Look at it, this is it." The female cultivator didn't look at the crystal ball but grabbed that egg-sized ore and exclaimed, "This really is extreme flame star gold? There really is such thing in the cultivation realm? That's for certain, look at the crystal ball." Chang Shun Pil King nodded. It was the quenched flame sea forbidden grounds inside. Hole saw it clearly. After a while, she exclaimed, "There's actually such an unfathomable person in this world." She looked at Jiu Qian for a long time and didn't talk. Jiu Qian's mood was very dejected. He didn't expect that after all the effort he used to bring his martial sister here, she was far weaker than Emo. Seeing her look at him, how could he not know what she meant? He said helplessly, "Let's go back first. It's impossible to get revenge. Luckily we don't have some big conflict. Worst case scenario, I'll stop pill concoction and focus on immortal cultivation. Jiu Qian Pil King, revenge isn't for now. Yumo's luck if dominant, but just because he is cocky here doesn't mean he can be cocky in the immortal realm. My disciple has great enmity with him, but as long as you can ascend to the immortal realm, that little enmity means nothing." Chang Shun Pil King smiled. Yiyushin quickly said, "My grandpa has ascended to the immortal realm. Even if ascends to immortal realm, he's dead if we find my grandpa." The old man who hasn't talked at all suddenly said, "Yushin is right. Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect has been passed down for countless years. There are many cultivators who ascended. If we can bring news that Emo annihilated their sect up, he would have nowhere to hide." Jiu Qian didn't say anything, however. He didn't want to kill Emo. He lost his confidence in the Pil King tournament, and thus his path of pill concoction ended there. Thus, he wanted to beat Emo in pill concoction, otherwise, it was pointless to kill Emo. Hole shook her head and gave back the extreme flame star gold. "This material is indeed very good." The old man smiled. "I was good friends with your master Nine-Fingered Pil King Huitan. Sigh, it's been countless years and your master is about to ascend in the Heartless Sea, but I'm struggling at Truth Realization State Level 7. He pointed at the ore. "You can have this ore, I have nothing to give you." "How can that be?" "Ichien Bei, this is too precious." This person was Pil City Grand City Lord, Level 8 Pil King Yi Wuhing. The old man waved his hand. "To be honest, I need to trouble Brother Hu too." He pointed at Yiyushin. "He can count as a martial descendant of mine, but he has no mind to cultivate in the Pil City. If Emo comes to Pil City, I wouldn't be able to protect him. I want to ask you to take him to the depth of the Heartless Sea and let him cultivate there." Thinking about how large the Heartless Sea Islands were, so it was fine to bring an extra person there, and if her magic artifact had this, or it might become low-grade immortal artifact, she got up and said, "City Lord Yi, don't worry, when I leave I will take Yushin with me. I need to go see my sister at Ethereal Immortal Pond now." Thinking about how large the Heartless Sea Islands were, so it was fine to bring an extra person there, and if her magic artifact had this, or it might become low-grade immortal artifact, she got up and said, "City Lord Yi, don't worry, when I leave I will take Yushin with me. I need to go see my sister at Ethereal Immortal Pond now." Chang Shun Pil King sighed. "One of Mo's wife Ning Qingxue is also from Ethereal Immortal Pond. If you go there, the news might soon reach Mo's ear. I believe with Mo's vengeful nature, he wouldn't let Jiu Qian, who caused him so much trouble on the Pil King tournament." Ho Ling thought and agreed. Jiu Qian martial brother was Master's favorite disciple, but if he died in South Peace State, even Master wouldn't be able to get revenge. Thinking about this, she nodded and said, "In that case, let's go now." Yuo City wasn't a big cultivation city, it was undeveloped. In a decent spirit rest tower, Yemo, Yiling, Sutong and Lin Yibin sat together. Yemo was asking what happened in this month while Yiling's mood was low. "I was tricked by Nangong Pingjin into fighting to death with him. But after we left the city, I realized that I was Cauldron Filling State Level 2 and he was only Cauldron Filling State Level 3, so I wasn't afraid of him. When I was trapped by a formation, I knew that if I wasn't at Mou City before I would have been dead. The Nangong family saw that my power grew too quickly and thus was set on killing me." "Then why did you go with Nangong Pingjin?" Sutong reproached. "If City Lord didn't go to Nangong family, you would have been killed this time. Nangong Su is testing the bottom line of the City Lord. If City Lord didn't get angry, do you think you could have come out?" Seeing Lin Yibin about to thank him again, Yemo waved his hand. Brother Lin, no need to say thank you. When you decided to come with me at Pill City, we're together. But I need to remind you, if one of you don't reach truth realization state peak stage, I suggest you don't touch the Nangong village. Hearing this, Lin Yibin asked in shock. Why? He thought he could take back Nangong village at any time when he reached truth realization state. Yemo said heavily. Because they're not an 8-star sect but a 9-star sect. I don't know how many truth realization states there are, but I know Nangong Su is truth realization state level 4. What? Lin Yibin exclaimed and then fell quiet. He knew Yemo wouldn't be lying. Nangong Su definitely wasn't the most powerful person there. He was truth realization state level 4. What about the elders there? After a while, Su Tong said in shock. Then why don't they say it? Why do they stay as 8-star sect? Yemo said heavily. That I don't know, but I feel the village is very strange. There's a strange chi there that even I can't see through. And the formation levels are very high. Lin Yibin saluted with his fists. City Lord, I know what you mean. I won't act impulsively. If I don't have the power to get back the Nangong village, I will ascend to the immortal realm and tell this to Ancestor Jiuyu. Yemo nodded. Chu Jiuyu was an immortal formation master in the cultivation realm, but Chu Xiaoyu was Chu Jiuyu's master, and yet he was not at that level. This meant that Chu Jiuyu probably learned his formation skills from Nangong Zaitian. Thus, the formations at the Nangong family are very high level. He asked again, why did Nana find her way to Yuo City? Nana said Yi Zifeng can't cultivate, so with his personality, he would use all means necessary to cultivate. He was an ordinary person, so he couldn't go to a cultivation city. Yuo City was a semi-cultivation city, so there were a lot of mortals there. The chances of finding him there would be greater. But as soon as she came, she found Yi Zifeng and Nangong Xiaodai. Su Tong answered. Yemo thought. It seems they were waiting there for you. Yi Zifeng clearly knew we were at Mou City. Yi Ling suddenly said. Big brother, if second brother offends you in the future, can you spare his life and not kill him? Yemo frowned. I can't promise you. I can only say that if he's only disrespecting me, I won't mind too much, but if he dares to touch anyone next to me, I won't let him live an extra minute. Yi Ling sighed and didn't say anything. Big brother was showing a lot of mercy like this. Yi Ling still doesn't understand why Yi Zifeng would turn out this way. Yi Ling don't think too much. He has capabilities to be able to connect to the Nangong family. Yemo said calmly. How could Yi Ling not hear Yemo's implied meaning? The Nangong family was this forbearing. If Yi Zifeng thought he could use them, he would be devoured clean. Yemo thought so indeed. He didn't know why Yi Zifeng had to stay there and create conflict between them. Would the resources of Mou City be less than Nangong village? Was there level 9 Pill King there? Su Tong suddenly said. City Lord, should we restrict Nangong village from participating in flowing snake auctions? Yemo shook his head. No need. If they really want the truth spirit pill here, we wouldn't be able to stop them. They can find someone else to buy it for them. Suddenly Yemo's face changed and waved his hand. Wait. Yemo stepped out of the spirit rest tower, but the next moment, the figure he was searching for was gone. Yemo rubbed his eyes. He clearly saw an old man. It was the Tianzhe master he met in the small world. He just saw him walking on the streets, but how was he gone? Yemo reached out his spirit sense, but even at max range, he couldn't find the fortune teller Tianzhe. Instantly disappearing from his spirit sense, what was this power? Yemo began to sweat cold. This old man was too strange. He came from the small world teleportation formation, or did he come through another mean? Yemo walked to the place where the old man sat and looked carefully. There was nothing extraordinary. He looked at the merchant selling low-level spirit herb and asked, Was there a fortune teller here? The merchant glanced at Yemo and said, Yes, he was a fortune teller, and he predicted my fate. He said that I can't set up a stall today and told me to pack up early. He also said that if I speak with someone who has one missing of the 5 elements, my head will be broken. He's full of shit, and I told him to go away. As soon as he said this, a ferocious woman came with a stick and smashed it at the merchant's head. "How dare you steal my spirit herb? I'm going to smack you, shameless bastard! Is it easy for me to grow those spirit herbs?" The stick landed on his forehead, and before he could react, blood fell down. However, he didn't wipe the blood and just kept murmuring, "He's a god!" Emo clearly didn't have the mood to care about this. Missing one element, the old man was talking about him. His Golden Page World had 4 seats and needed one more. To him, Golden Page World was his biggest secret. No one knew except those few closest to him. This Tianze knew he was missing one element. Does this mean he knew he had the Golden Page World? Emo's mood turned shit. It's been 1 month since Emo had gone back to Mou City. Yiling started solitary cultivation as though completely forgetting about Yi Zifan. But Emo knew that it hurt Yiling and Qing Nana greatly. Knowing Nangong Village's power, Lin Yiban worked very hard to cultivate. It's been 1 month since Emo had gone back to Mou City. Yiling started solitary cultivation as though completely forgetting about Yi Zifan. But Emo knew that it hurt Yiling and Qing Nana greatly. Knowing Nangong Village's power, Lin Yiban worked very hard to cultivate. After concocting pills for the people at Flowing Snake City, Emo went into solitary cultivation too. He felt his power didn't have much of an advantage over Hollow Immortal. Of course, more importantly, it was because of that Tianze. He seemed to be everywhere. If he used some other means to come to Luoyu continent, then he would be the scariest. He seemed to be able to predict fate very accurately. He knew that Mu Xiaoyun would be his wife and that he was missing one of the 5 elements. Emo wondered if he knew about the Golden Page World and everything that was inside. Despite knowing that Tianze didn't seem to have any ill will towards him, Emo felt a sense of danger. No matter who Tianze was, Emo felt increasing his power was the most important thing. Only when he had a certain level of power could he take control of things. Emo didn't hope Tianze predicted he had Chaos World. He wouldn't care if it was a small world, as they were rare but not unique. Chaos World was something every cultivator wanted. If this news was leaked, he would be hunted forever. At Emo's residence in Mou Lake, he surrounded himself with all sorts of restrictions. Emo was in his Golden Page World. He had spirit-controlled the spear and samsara bottle he got from that Hollow Immortal. They were both low-grade immortal artifact. The golden brick he hacked open was a half-immortal artifact. Emo didn't touch the stone table Lu Jingchuan set up. He didn't feel he could control something that a powerful being of the immortal realm L equals placed down. He tried to spirit control the soft ore from the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds, but it was of no use. 1 month later, Emo came out of solitary cultivation. He got news that Tang Mengrao would be leaving. Emo was going to accompany her for a while. What Emo didn't expect was that when he came out, there was not only Tang Mengrao but Qian Wei and Shan Bingfeng who also came. Other than them, Mo Ming, Shi Luan and Jingfengji from Godwind Valley, Heaven Demon sect were here and Abstruse Sound sect here too. This meant all the 9-star sect people were here. Mo Ming, Shi Luan and Jingfengji clearly felt a little awkward seeing Emo. They were prepared to leave South Peace State, but then they got news that Emo quenched the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds and annihilated the spirit-devouring bugs. Then, Emo concocted pills for the cultivators who stayed behind. This news soon spread through South Peace State. The sects and solo cultivator who stayed were all famous now. 2 5-star sects due to Emo's favor had advantage in the sect member intake process. The most embarrassing was Godwind Valley. Mo Ming left South Peace State already in order to get a spot in the Heartless Sea quickly, but before his flying ship went into the Heartless Sea, he got news to come back. Some cultivators even recorded this into a crystal ball and spread it around. Emo didn't care, however. This was too ordinary in the cultivation realm. There was no point in saying who was right or wrong. What he was worried about was there something else now that they all came here again. City Lord Yi, it's indeed a big mistake of the Godwind Valley. I came to apologize, Mo Ming said. Emo waved his hand. No need to bring up the past. Did something happen again in the South Peace State for you all to come here? Qianwei quickly said. City Lord, you don't misunderstand, there's nothing at the South Peace State. This time, we came one to thank City Lord Yi and another to accompany sect leader Tang to leave South Peace State. Yemo was confused. Tang Mengrao was famous, but she was nothing compared to them here. Why would they come to send her back? Qianwei seemed awkward. Shan Bingfeng came to explain. The teleportation formation of South Peace State was about to be destroyed. City Lord Yi repaired it, and now it can still be used. News came from North Far State that they were unaffected by the Great Calamity. This time, we plan to go see North Far State with sect leader Tang. The excellent disciples of North Far State are all cultivating in South Peace State. If something happens to North Far State, they wouldn't want to see it. Yemo nodded. That's a good thing. Yemo was implying that there was no need to come and tell me this. Luan Shi continued. This is good indeed, but the teleportation formation of East Black State was completely destroyed. There's still no news from there. Martial Sister Shan and Sect Leader Qianwei thinks Sect Leader Jing and I should go to East Black State, but we're not good at formation. Yemo realized. So you guys want me to go East Black State too? Qianwei said awkwardly. That's what we mean indeed. We know City Lord Yi is very busy and hadn't even gotten a good rest after coming back. Yemo nodded. It's fine, I'm actually planning to go East Black State anyways. Then this is perfect. Sect Leader Qianwei nodded. Yemo smiled. I believe I would be fine to go East Black State alone. You guys know my power. I believe I should be fine going there. Plus I know a quick way there. This is perfect. Since City Lord Yi wants to go alone, then we'll go check out North Far State. West Extreme State is powerful, so they should be able to solve their own problems, but North Far State and East Black State needs our help. Qianwei said. City Lord Yi, I heard Nangong Village is actually 9-star village, but they hide themselves as 8-star sect? Jing Fengji suddenly said. Yemo dazed, he didn't spill this out, but then he immediately realized that probably Lin Yibin or Su Tong said. This was drawing enmity to Nangong Village. Yemo agreed. That's right, they are indeed 9-star sect. Sect leader Nangong XU is Truth Realization State Level 4. The few 9-star sect leader fell in silence, and no one said anything. After a while, Shan Bingfeng broke the silence. Let's go do what we should do first. As for Nangong Village, hiding their power is their own business. With City Lord Yi in South Peace State, I don't believe they would be able to cause any trouble. Yemo personally sent Tang Mengrao and Shan Bingfeng and them out of MOU City. Then Yemo prepared to go through Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds to East Black State. Yemo didn't like the place, but it could save a lot of time. He didn't want to go with others to East Black State because he wanted to take Luoing there. They both came from East Black State. Susu, why are you out of solitary cultivation? Yemo looked at Luoing, who was already waiting for him, and Jiayokui next to her. Luoing smiled. I was long finished. I heard Qianwei sect leader invite you to go East Black State, so I. The two glanced at each other and smiled. Why is Yokui here too? Yemo asked. Jiayokui quickly said. Qianbei, there's still no news of my sisters and auntie. They definitely didn't arrive at South Peace State, so I'm afraid something happened to them at Heartless Sea. Thus, I want to ask Qianbei. Yemo nodded. I'm planning to go with Susu to East Black State. We can go to your place to check. But Heartless Sea is this big, it's really too hard, don't have too much hope. Plus, don't call me Qianbei anymore. I'm friends with your father and we're similar in age. Just call me Big Brother. Yemo nodded. I'm planning to go with Susu to East Black State. We can go to your place to check. But Heartless Sea is this big. It's really too hard. Don't have too much hope. Plus, don't call me Qianbei anymore. I'm friends with your father and we're similar in age. Just call me Big Brother. Yes, thank you, Brother Yi. I know it's very hard to find them, but if I don't go once, I wouldn't be able to rest my mind my entire life. Jiayilui said gratefully. Yemo nodded. He knew what she meant. He was planning to go demon prison forbidden grounds, but now, he would just go via Heartless Sea. Yu Zizhen attacking Jiafeng was rather related to him. After leaving Qingxue and them, Yemo left Mou City Matters to Tang Bei Wei and Su Ping and then took Luoying and Jia Yokui into the Heartless Sea. Yemo followed Jia Yokui's guide and Blue Moon didn't reach the top speed in the Heartless Sea. At the start, she knew what she was talking about, but as time went on, she gradually lost a sense of direction herself. Yemo had to use the compass to help again, but soon, he felt something was wrong. Blue Moon went into a region of the sea that was covered in mist. The compass was completely useless. Yemo didn't know how big the Heartless Sea was, but he knew that even with Blue Moon's speed it wasn't easy to circulate the Heartless Sea a few times. Yemo was certain they had entered an area where no cultivators had come before. It was getting darker and darker as they went in. "We seem to be lost." Luoying whispered to Yemo. Yemo nodded. "Yes, we're indeed lost. Spirit sense is also greatly affected here. My spirit sense is only 1/5 of its original range. Brother Yi, I'm sorry." Jia Yokui apologized. Yemo turned back and smiled. "It's fine, it's not the first time I got lost. When I got lost in the void I still found my way back. The Heartless Sea is this big, it's not strange there are peculiar places. Don't worry, I'll bring you guys out for sure." "Brother Yi, you've been to the void?" Jia Yokui asked. Just when Yemo wanted to answer, a black figure as fast as Blue Moon appeared in his spirit sense, and it came charging right at them. Before Yemo could think, he moved Blue Moon to the side a little. The black figure dashed past Blue Moon and disappeared in Yemo's spirit sense. "What is it?" Jia Yokui and Luoying both saw the black figure. If it rammed into Blue Moon with such speed, even a low-grade immortal artifact would be breaking apart. "Don't know, be careful, this place is strange. I'll find a way out quickly." Yemo just said this and another black figure dashed over. This time, he couldn't even dodge in time, but luckily, it only brushed past Blue Moon. Yemo's face finally changed. He took out an extreme-grade cultivation artifact and gave it to Jia Yokui. "Susu has defense magic artifact, spirit control this and put it in front of you constantly." Then, Yemo said to Luoying, "Susu, take out your defense magic artifact and stand behind me." Luoying took out the white silk scarf Yemo made for her. It was an extreme-grade defense magic artifact. Shadowless created limited amounts of silk and thus Yemo only make 2. One was at Luoying and one was with Yemo. Jia Yokui's face was pale and she quickly took the defense magic artifact and started spirit controlling it. Yemo carefully maneuvered Blue Moon, while his spirit sense carefully monitored the nearby few hundred-kilometer Luoying stuck closely to Yemo. She was afraid Yemo would be focusing too much on the distance that he would miss the situation nearby. Blue Moon slowed down, and there was no black shadow coming over for a long time. Now Luoying asked, "Did we enter a formation?" Yemo shook his head. "Probably not. If this was a formation, its level would be too high. I think we've mistakenly entered an unknown region of the Heartless Sea. Look, we can't even see the sky now. Visibility is getting lower and lower. If we don't find a way out quickly, we might be trapped here." Then, another 2 black figures shot over, brushing past Blue Moon. Blue Moon spun many circles before stopping. The black figures started to congregate and finally one crashed into Blue Moon's tail. Blue Moon was immediately injured, but the black figure seemed to be fine. Yemo put away Blue Moon and released Octagonal Cauldron and said to the 2, "Blue Moon is too big, stand next to me, it's easier to dodge with Octagonal Cauldron." There were more and more black figures now, but since Octagonal Cauldron was much smaller, they were only hit twice despite passing through dense regions. Yemo received some backlash, but Luoying and Jia Yokui were fine. A day later, Yemo and them stopped on an barren island. Yemo put away the Octagonal Cauldron and saw there were no shadows coming here. Yemo's spirit sense couldn't even scan to the end of this place. Despite his spirit sense being limited, it still meant that this place was huge. "There's no black figures here, wait for me. I'm going to see what they are." Before Yemo finished, he stopped as he saw there were people on this island. 2 cultivators were charging over at him. Haha, there's more fresh spirit source, I saw it first, the leading man said. He was Disaster Transformation State Level 4 and the cultivator behind him was Disaster Transformation State Level 5. Luoying was Hollow Spirit State Level 7, Jiayokui was Hollow Spirit State. The 2 cultivators stared at the 3 like hungry demons. The 2 girls subconsciously hid behind EMO and released their magic artifact. The 2 came up to them quickly, but seeing EMO's calm face, they didn't attack. Where is this place? EMO asked. The sunken-eyed cultivator said. You're at the Heartless CC corner, and yet you ask where this is? Jiayokui suddenly shrieked. I know where this is. EMO nodded and said. Just say it, we can get out for sure. Haha. The Disaster Transformation State Level 4 laughed and pointed at EMO. He still wants to go out after coming to the C corner. Is he crazy? We can have 1 woman each and split the belongings. See, we're too lucky today, the Disaster Transformation State Level 4 said excitedly. However, the sunken-eyed cultivator frowned. He felt something was wrong and didn't answer the Disaster Transformation State Level 4. EMO was long impatient already and grabbed the Disaster Transformation State Level 4 with Cultivation Essence giant hand. You're quite lucky indeed. Truth Realization State Qianbei. The Disaster Transformation State Level 4 didn't expect this young cultivator to be Truth Realization State Qianbei. Mercy! Yet he was crushed by EMO's Cultivation Essence giant hand. The sunken Ahade cultivator's face immediately went pale and he knelt down without hesitation. Wan Bei Muwuhui Greek Truth Realization State Qianbei, please have mercy. EMO ignored him and said to Jiayokui, Yuke, keep talking. Jiayokui knew EMO's powers and wasn't afraid, but she still said, My dad said that the scariest place in the Heartless Sea was the sea corner. No one had seen this place as all who went in had disappeared. It can also appear in different places of the Heartless Sea. Jiayokui knew EMO's powers and wasn't afraid, but she still said, My dad said that the scariest place in the Heartless Sea was the sea corner. No one had seen this place as all who went in had disappeared. It can also appear in different places of the Heartless Sea. Heartless Sea corner? EMO frowned and asked. He was Truth Realization State Cultivator, but he had never heard of such place. Yes, my dad said those who see it wouldn't be able to come back out. Jiayokui said with certainty. Qianbei, Wanbei knows. Muwuhui quickly said. His back was drenched in sweat. It was no different to being dead here, but who would want to die if they could live? Get up and talk. If your information satisfies me, you can live. EMO nodded. Yes, Qianbei. Muwuhui immediately got up and said, This is indeed the Heartless CC corner. It's also true that no one has been able to get out after coming in. Once you come in here, you would never be able to ascend to the immortal realm again. Just like heaven border of Luoyu continent, Heartless CC corner would appear at random places in random times. EMO asked again, There's a lot of people on the island? They're all cultivators caught in here? Muwuhui quickly said, Yes, this island is called Sea Corner Island. There's about 100,000 people on here. More people died before getting to the island. Because spirit chi is arid and it's very hard to cultivate, some people can only die when their lifespan are at their end. There's no other places to stay except the island. In other places, you would immediately be killed by the corner soulweed. Those black figures are corner soulweed? EMO asked in confusion. The spirit chi here was indeed very scarce. It was worse than spirit chi arid places in North Far State. Yes, those black figures are corner soulweed. Corner soulweed is very precious. It's called weed, but it's actually a type of ore. If you catch it and use it for cultivation, you can improve your spirit sense very quickly without side effect. Apparently, if used with spirit nourishing well, it can increase spirit sense many times, but both are very rare. Muwuhui answered. Jiayokui asked. There's a lot of corner soulweed here. How is it rare? Muwuhui said respectfully. There are a lot of corner soulweed, but they're unable to be caught. Even on the island, there's very few cultivators who can catch them. They can occasionally catch one if they're lucky. Plus, there are two types of corner soul weed. One is clear weed and one is dark weed. Dark weed can't be caught with spirit sense and is faster than clear weed. However, its effects are more potent than clear weed. Yemo nodded. It seemed there were too many things in the cultivation realm that he didn't know. This corner soul weed seemed to be the perfect thing for him. His spirit sense was powerful, but he felt it was his weakest. If he didn't get spirit nourishing well, it would be much harder for him to annihilate the spirit-devouring bugs. The more he got better at Heaven Flame 9 Suns, the more requirement it had on his spirit sense. Corner soulweed was fast, but Yemo wasn't worried he wouldn't be able to catch them. But that unseen dark weed would be a little troublesome. When they came in, there were corner soulweed everywhere, but even Yemo didn't dare to catch one. If he divided his attention, then he might be rammed by another. If he was by himself, he would have no pressure, but he brought Luoying and Jiayokue. But now there was this island. It was much easier for Yemo. Yemo saw the dull gray mist outside the island and knew it wasn't good to go out now. He might as well get to the island and understand the situation. Lead the way to the island, Yemo said. Mu Hui saw that Yemo had no intentions of killing him and breathed easy. He quickly said, "Okay, please come with me, Qianbei." Then Mu Hui kept explaining, "There's a city in the center of the island. It's called Sea Corner Island. It was set up by Qianbais who came before. The most powerful two people in there are Truth Realization State Level 9, so Qianbei needs to be a little careful." Yemo said calmly, "Lead the way, I know the rest." "Yes." Mu Hui thought in shock, where did Yemo get this confidence from? Sea Corner Island was big, but with their speed, they soon reached the center of the island. There were no defense formations here nor city guards. Clearly, they knew no cultivators nor spirit beast would come unless it was cultivators who mistakenly got caught in here. There was a simple city in the center. It wasn't big and much smaller than Ninghai City on Earth. The city walls looked simple, but inside, the cultivation grounds were very well built. There were defense formations and good planning. The city streets were also well divided. The only thing was that he didn't see any bars nor spirit rest tower. There was only a moderate-sized market. Seeing Mu Hui bring 3 in, many people threw over admiring glances. Some people also looked over with confusion. Theoretically, cultivators would kill newcomers or take their things and leave. If you brought new cultivators here, that meant you took their things and other cultivators would turn their attention to you. Mu Hui, give me this female cultivator. I'll give you 1,000 top-grade spirit stones. One disaster transformation state level 7 cultivator walked over and pointed at Yemo. Luoying frowned, but before she talked, Yemo waved in the air and a cultivation essence giant hand slapped the face of this disaster transformation state level 7. He was sent flying, and so was half of his face. Yemo's slap had another wave of cultivation essence that would turn the cultivator into a bloody mist when he landed. Before Mu Hui could warn this cultivator, the disaster transformation state level 7 slapped away, but before he landed, he was caught by another cultivation essence giant hand. This cultivation essence giant hand expelled the second wave of cultivation essence and put a pill in the disaster transformation state's mouth. The disaster transformation state level 7 was scared soulless. How could he not know he offended a truth realization state cultivator? He quickly sat down to recover. The truth realization state then walked up to Yemo and sneered. "You're only truth realization state level 8, do you think you're the strongest now? You're so cruel, wanting to kill as soon as you come to my Sea Corner City. I want to see how powerful you are." Then he casually glanced at Luoying and Jiayokue. There was a sliver of fire that others didn't see. But Yemo saw this and his killing intent rose. He immediately knew that if he didn't come, Luoying and Jiayokue would be gone. This guy was only Truth Realization State Level 9, a bit far from Truth Realization State Peak Stage 2. "Mu Hui, you brought these 3 in?" The Truth Realization State glanced coldly at Mu Hui. Mu Hui immediately began to shake. He didn't expect Yemo to offend the Vice City Lord immediately. he said shakily. Yes, Xie Man, and I saw them at the island, and this Qianbei told me to bring him here. Where is Xie Man? The Vice City Lord probably guessed that Xie Man was killed by Yemo, but he still asked. Mu Wuhui shivered. He didn't know if he said it that Yemo would be furious again. Before he made a decision, Yemo said coldly, I killed him! The Truth Realization State Level 9 sneered and suddenly released a metal umbrella. He said to the two Disaster Transformation State behind him, Take the two female cultivators back. The Truth Realization State Level 9 sneered and suddenly released a metal umbrella. He said to the two Disaster Transformation State behind him, Take the two female cultivators back. Then, heavy explosion sounded from his metal umbrella. The black cloth on the umbrella surface turned into a huge dark net and disappeared. Then, the umbrella opened up and nearly 1,000 white rays blinked. They shot out and divided into countless silver needles. The umbrella handle didn't attack. Clearly he felt he didn't need to use it. Space began to condense as the Truth Realization State Level 9 attacked. A black net that was almost 100 meters in diameter was above Yemo's head and sealed the space around Yemo. Under this situation, even if one could escape the terrifying silver rays, he would be caught by the black net. Even if he wasn't caught by the net, there was a black umbrella handle spear that was waiting to devour you. The two Disaster Transformation States saw the Vice City Lord had attacked and avoided the battle center, charging at Luoying and Jiayokui. Yemo sneered. While the silver rays were still dividing, he released Zisu. He didn't even look at where the beams were, he just hacked out a strike. A purple beam flashed, and the white beams were swept. Crack, the umbrella bones were shattered and the silver rays disappeared. However, the purple ray didn't stop, it suddenly divided mid-air in half. Splurge, splurge, two blood rays flew, the two Disaster Transformation State cultivators turned to bloody mist, and even their essence spirits were melted by the purple ray. The Vice City Lord's face changed greatly. He didn't dare to hold back and pierced out with the umbrella handle, while the net loomed down quickly. Yemo's power was far beyond his expectation. Just one purple ray and it destroyed his silver beam space and even destroyed the umbrella bone. The umbrella handle pierced, bringing out a dark ray. At the same time, a huge explosion sounded in the center of the ray. Yemo reached out with his hand and actually grabbed at the center of the explosion. Meanwhile, Zisu didn't stop and hacked down again. The Truth Realization State Level 9 rejoiced seeing that Yemo dared to grab his umbrella handle. Thud, the explosion was caught by Yemo's hand while Zisu shredded the dark net. The Truth Realization State Level 9 was completely dumbfounded. He didn't dare to believe his eyes. Someone could grab his umbrella bone explosion with his bare hand? Only now did he realize how great the difference between them were. He didn't even have the time to beg for mercy as he gritted his teeth and a red bow appeared in his hand. At the same time, a thick red arrow appeared on it. He spat many mouthfuls of blood and the arrow shot out. It tore through the air and a red arrow that was thicker than a bucket shot out, sealing the space nearby immediately. This was the first time Yemo showed a serious look. The cultivator's power was average, but this bow was very powerful. He put away Zisu and brought up his two hands. Space around him immediately began to slow down. Crack, crack. The Truth Realization State Level 9 felt his domain crack and the red arrow began to slow down. The Truth Realization State Level 9 realized that Yemo didn't even try before, and he quickly called out in shock. Friend, stop, I admit defeat. Yemo sneered and grabbed at the red arrow with his cultivation essence giant hand. The Truth Realization State Level 9 immediately knew that Yemo was determined to kill him. He cursed and wanted to self-destruct, but soon he found he couldn't even do that. Yemo's domain was too powerful, and it was getting stronger too. Friend, City Lord Feng has admitted defeat, please stop. Another figure came over. Yemo didn't seem to hear it. Hollow Immortal Cultivation Essence giant hand grabbed at the slowed arrow. Despite being confined by his domain, Yemo's Cultivation Essence giant hand still crippled when he grabbed this arrow. Without hesitation, Yemo grabbed with his hand and grabbed the arrow before punching out. Good arrow and good bow, but pity you're so weak you can't even draw the bow, and you want to use it to kill someone? A cultivation essence fist reached the truth realization state level 9's Dantian. This was the last words he heard in his life. Never had he thought he would be killed by a cultivation essence giant hand. Thud. Blood mist splashed out, and the red bow and his storage ring fell into Yemo's hands. That figure who told Yemo to stop looked dazedly at the bloody mist, and couldn't say anything for a long time. It had only been 2 seconds since he spoke, and in this time Yemo already killed the truth realization state level 9 Vice City Lord. Yemo played around with the red bow and arrow and felt it was no ordinary thing. After a long while, he slowly put it away. The cultivators around here were all scared to talk. The Vice City Lord was someone that no one even dared to speak loudly in front of. If he wanted anything, you would have to give it to him if he gave it an extra glance. If he liked any female cultivator, she would have to go sleep with him. Sea Corner City was a dead city. There was no hope of immortal ascension nor spirit chi for cultivation. Even women were limited in the city. If the woman was slightly good-looking, she wouldn't be able to escape the Vice City Lord or his men. If it was some other place, no one would be mesmerized by lust, but in this place, women were their only entertainment. Muwuhui was shaking. He rejoiced he didn't offend this tough guy. From now on, this guy would be the number one here. You're the city lord? Yemo asked. This cultivator was also truth realization state level 9. He had been watching on the side and only came out when he was about to kill the Vice City Lord. The truth realization state level 9 quickly saluted with his fists. Yes, I'm the city lord here, Wang Jing. Did friend just come here? He sounded very polite, as though Yemo didn't kill the Vice City Lord just then but was a new guest. But everyone knew Wang Jing was scared of Yemo. That's right, I just came to Corner Island and splat a few annoying flies, Yemo said calmly. Wang Jing smiled awkwardly. That's right, Feng Xian has been abusing low-level cultivators with his power and let his men abuse their authorities too. If it wasn't that there's nowhere to go, all the cultivators here would be gone. Yemo didn't show any expression, and so Wang Jing could only continue. Now that friend killed him, you've given the island some peace. Friend is now the city lord. I'm willing to hand over the position and be vice. What's your name, friend? Yemo knew what Wang Jing thought. He was scared that he wanted the city lord position and would kill him. But how could Yemo stay here and be city lord? He would rather tear open void and go into void fissure than stay here and die. Yemo knew what Wang Jing thought. He was scared that he wanted the city lord position and would kill him. But how could Yemo stay here and be city lord? He would rather tear open void and go into void fissure than stay here and die. Yemo stopped him. I'm Yemo, City Lord 1. I won't stay here and be City Lord. I just want to ask one thing. Has there been any clues of leaving here after all these years? Wang Jing smiled bitterly. Brother Yi, I don't know if the Qian Bais before me thought about going out, but I've tried many times, and each time I almost died to the corner soul weed, especially the dark weeds. Later on, I gradually gave up the thought. Each year, there would be many cultivators trying to leave here, but none of them came back. I don't know if they found a way out or died in here. There's no exit in the sea corner. Yemo frowned. He didn't expect the city lord to have no clues after searching for all these years. Brother Yi, now that Feng Xian isn't here, his home is very luxurious. That place belongs to Brother Yi now, Wang Jing said. Yemo interrupted and said, No need, I have my own place. Then you city lord Wang. Yemo didn't have any good impression of this Wang Jing. Plus there were many places to stay in the city. Then, Yemo took Luoying and Jiayokui to an empty ground and released a house-shaped magic artifact. Instantly, it turned into a mansion that was a few 100-meter squared area. It was a house cultivation artifact. All the cultivators were dazed. Even Jiayokui looked at Yemo in a daze. Who would spend money to buy such a cultivation artifact? It was extreme-grade cultivation artifact too. Did he not have a place to spend spirit stones? Only Luoying knew that Yemo made this house cultivation artifact himself. There was everything inside. Yemo took the two inside. He didn't worry there would be danger outside. This was a space cultivation artifact, and he set up a level 9 defense formation. Even truth realization state cultivator wouldn't be able to break it quickly. Seeing the three go in, Wang Jing shook his head. This cultivator was too wealthy. Extreme grade cultivation artifact house. This was luxury amongst luxury. It was completely just for the looks. Only an idiot would spend large amounts of spirit stones on that. Brother Yi, you have such good thing? My dad said extreme grade cultivation artifacts are very expensive. As though remembering Yemo gave her an extreme grade cultivation artifact, she quickly took it out and gave it to Yemo. Brother Yi, you lent this to me. I don't need it now. Yemo pushed it back to her and said, I have a lot of these, you can keep it. Foam, she backed him up and was killed. City Lord Wang Jing killed Shi Xiuwu in order to suck up to Yi Qianbei. How dare you discuss that female cultivator? Can you be quiet? No one would know here. Are you going to dob me in? Where did Xianxi go? He wouldn't dob me in, right? He's not that type of person, but it's possible he might be willing to collaborate with Yi Qianbei. In a simple room, a skinny black man and a square-faced robust man sat opposite each other. The skinny black man was Xianxi. He couldn't sit anymore hearing that Yemo was looking for ways to leave the island. You're saying we should collaborate with that Yemo who just came? The square-faced man replied heavily. He was Xianxi's brother Xiane. A few decades ago, they got caught in here chasing a spirit beast. Yes, brother, do you not want to go home? We're both body condensation state. If we waste more time here, he would die. Xianxi said. Xiane shook his head. You know I've been wanting to find a way out. How do I not want to go home? If I don't want to leave, why do I go out every day searching for a way out? But that Yemo's too powerful and very decisive in killing. If we accidentally offend him, we would be dying here. Xian 11 immediately answered. Yi Qianbei is very powerful indeed, or he wouldn't kill Feng Xian so easily, but the stronger he is the better. It's our opportunity, otherwise, even if we have some clues, we wouldn't be able to leave. Plus we're men, so what if we die? It's better than doing nothing and living here. Sister-in-law has been waiting for you for a few decades, do you not miss her? Xian sighed. But we're only body condensation state, and he's a truth realization state Qianbei. What right do we have to cooperate with him? We have decades of experience of searching the sea corner, and some knowledge of getting out. If we don't grasp this chance, we won't ever get an opportunity. Xian, she said. Xian fell silent for a while and suddenly got up. But we need watch for a while and see what sort of person that Yi Qianbei is. At the border of the island, Yemo appeared here alone. He left Luoying and Jiayokui back at the city. At the border of the island, Yemo appeared here alone. He left Luoying and Jiayokui back at the city. This was a dead island, and Yemo believed no one would dare to do anything to them. Plus, he set up level 9 attack and defense formation. Without Luoying's permission, no one would be able to get close. There was very little corner soulweed near the border of the island. Yemo stood in the air and left the island. As he slowly entered places with more corner soulweed, he let out his spirit sense carefully. A black figure flew over and Yemo sidestepped while hacking out with Zisu. Thud. The corner soulweed changed direction and completely disappeared. Meanwhile, another powerful force came smashing at Yemo. He moved to the side, almost being smashed by another black figure. Yemo was sweating. With such speed, even with his God-state body refinement, it was hard to say he wouldn't be injured. It seemed they were quite lucky to be able to find the island so quickly from the sea corner. Yemo set his mind and saw another black figure flying over. This time, he released Zisu and burst out his cultivation essence. Purple Ray hacked out rapidly and smashed into the bulk figure. Rumble, Yemo attacked with full power this time. The black figure paused, but before Yemo could rejoice, he saw the black figure suddenly explode into countless sparkles. Yemo dazed. Nice power. Yemo's spirit sense saw another figure and heard his voice. Seeing someone stay in here, Yemo rejoiced, but before he could say anything, that person said again, "Friend, you can hack apart corner soul weed, you're very powerful. Ordinary people can't do this." Then, the person raised his thumb at Yemo. Yemo smiled. "You're not bad too for being able to stay here for so long." This cultivator was truth realization state level 4. However, he shook his head. "I'm different to you. I've stayed here for a few centuries. I know these corner soul weed all too well, both clear and dark weed. You hacked away corner soul weed just then, but you used the wrong method. That way induces concussion. Look at me." The truth realization state level 4 released a spear and pointed at a black figure coming at him. Yemo was shook. This truth realization state level 4 was so casual. With corner soul weed's toughness and speed, how could they be flicked away like that? But what shook Yemo was that the truth realization state level 4 pointed the spear on the corner soul weed and it changed direction and flew off. "You used a transfer technique?" Yemo realized. This man only changed the direction of the corner soul weed through redirection. The truth realization state level 4 nodded. "Yes, this way you can dodge corner soul weed with extremely little cultivation essence, but it's impossible to catch them. You have to use another way." A black figure came, Yemo flung Zisu and it quickly changed direction. After looking at it once? The truth realization state level 4 stared at Yemo in shock. Yemo smiled. "Your move is nice. I'm Yemo, I just came here." The cultivator admired Yemo greatly and said without hesitation, "I'm Guhajo. I've been here for more than 200 years. You've been living in the sea corner? Why don't you go to the city?" Yemo asked. Guhajo nodded. "Yes, but this isn't a dangerous part of the sea corner. It's at most the safest place in the sea corner. It's mostly clear weed. If you go to the most dangerous place, there would be dark weed everywhere. Even I wouldn't be able to survive for long. I have a place at the city, but I don't like that vice city lord and I can't beat him, so I spend most of my time here catching corner soul weed. I would only go back when I need to go to the market." Yemo was going to say he killed Feng Xian, but hearing this he immediately asked, "How do you catch corner soul weed?" Guhajo shook his head. "It's very hard. I can occasionally can one and sell it to Sea Corner City. Each one can exchange for large sums of spirit stones. In the city, there really aren't many cultivators wealthier than me, Yemo suddenly asked, "Can you sell one to me?" "Yes, but the price is very high. I need 8,000 top-grade spirit stones for one, but I feel like you're a good person, I can give it to you for cheaper. 5,000 is enough," Guhajo said. Yemo was dazed. This was a very high price? 8,000 top-grade spirit stones. He would sometimes reward city guards more than this. "If you don't have enough spirit stones, you can owe me. You're more powerful than me and much smarter than me. I believe you can catch more than me," Guhajo added, seeing Yemo didn't talk. Then, he casually took out a dark gray ore and put it in Yemo's hand. Yemo looked at it. When he held it, there was a sense of comfort coming from the depth of his soul. Yemo didn't even cultivate and felt his essence spirit grow bigger, and his spirit sense grew a little too. They were not only very useful for spirit sense but also stabilized soul and essence spirit / "This is good," Yemo couldn't help saying. Guhajo smiled. "This is just the lowest grade corner soul weed. If you see higher level ones, you'll know what is truly good. As for those dark weed, they're very rare high level product, but I've never caught one. You need to go to the depth of the sea corner, and I don't have that power currently." Hearing this, Yemo knew he had to grab a pile of corner soul weed before he left, or it would be a waste coming here. After a while, Yemo put it away and gave Guhajo a storage ring. "Thank you, you can have these spirit stones. If you have a better way of catching corner soul weed, teach me too." Guhajo, dazed seeing Yemo gave him spirit stones with storage ring, but he quickly took it and said, "It's fine, it's quite boring catching corner soul weed here alone, huh?" Guhajo's face was red with excitement, and he said his disbelief. This is too much, 1,000,000 spirit stones, how can I use that much? However, Gu Hezhou wasn't keen on giving the storage ring back to Yemo. There was no resource nor spirit stones on THS Island. Corner soul weed was good, but it cultivated spirit sense. Spirit stones was the most valuable resource on the island. It was unsustainable resource. Yemo smiled and waved his hand. These spirit stones are useless to me, take it. When I've collected enough corner soul weed, if you don't mind, then come find a way out with me. I trust there's a way out. Gu Hezhou thanked Yemo and was going to give more corner soul weed to Yemo, but Yemo rejected. He didn't need 1 or 2, he needed large sums. Seeing this, Gu Hezhou's impression of Yemo grew even better. He said, Brother Yi, it's definitely fine catching corner soul weed with your power here, but I suggest Brother Yi give up the thought of leaving here. Perhaps one day, if we reach truth realization state peak stage, we can leave through immortal ascension. Otherwise, this isn't a place people can leave with their own power. Yemo dazed, he thought Gu Hezhou would want to leave here since he was catching corner soul weed for a few hundred years. But clearly he was rubbed of his edges by time. Yemo pitied this experienced person couldn't work with him, but he still respected Gu Hezhou's thoughts. Gu Hezhou felt embarrassed and took out a net-shaped magic artifact. This is the way I collect corner soul weed, I'll show you. Gu Hezhou released his net magic artifact and waited on the side. After a while, a black figure shot by rapidly. Gu Hezhou suddenly released his spear and the black figure changed direction immediately. Gu Hezhou clearly couldn't control the direction and it only brushed past the net. Gu Hezhou said in embarrassment. These corner soul weed have different speed and power. It's hard to control and my success rate isn't high. If I catch them with my net, I can follow them and slowly capture them. Gu Hezhou said in embarrassment. These corner soul weed have different speed and power. It's hard to control and my success rate isn't high. If I catch them with my net, I can follow them and slowly capture them. Yemo nodded. He realized Gu Hezhou's method. He would set the net and wait for corner soul weed to come. Then, he would change direction and make it fall into his net. There was a fine golden strand in his hands and it was like a fishing line. This way could catch corner soul weed, but it wasn't what Yemo wanted. He saluted with his fists to Gu Hezhou. Thanks for your teaching, Brother Jiyu. I'm going first. Gu Hezhou thought Yemo was going to see Corner City and quickly said, Brother Yi, if you want to go, you must not spill your spirit stones, otherwise that Vice City Lord Feng Xian won't let you go. This person is extremely shameless and lustful. Yemo smiled calmly. Don't worry, I already killed that Feng Xian. I'm going. If we have time, we can catch up in the city. Then Yemo disappeared. He needed to catch corner soul weed, and clearly dark weed was more enticing to him. Just the lower level clear weed made him feel so good. Just how powerful should the dark weed be? What, you killed Feng Xian? Gu Hezhou asked in shock. Then, he realized that Yemo had left already and was more shocked as he found that Yemo was heading towards the depth of sea corner. Clearly, he wanted to hunt higher level corner soul weed, even dark weed. Crazy, he's really crazy, Gu Hezhou murmured. He knew that Yemo quite possibly might never come back again. The dark weed was scary, but Yemo wasn't worried. He had the experience of dodging space chaos flow and space wind blades in the Truth Fall Palace. He just needed to set up a cultivation essence force field, and when unseen things enter it, the cultivation essence force field would change. But now, if Yemo expanded out his domain, he would be able to know when the darkweed came. However, there was also great danger as the darkweed was too fast. Even if he knew, he might not be able to dodge it. This was why other cultivators didn't dare to try. If you couldn't dodge it, you would be smashed to death. Multiple dark figures came. Yemo didn't dare to keep going in more. There was enough corner soul weed here. He used Gu Hezhou's way, Zisu's spat sword ray, and easily changed the direction of those corner soul weed flying at him. However, domain was limited in use against corner soul weed. The divided sword ray each had some of Yemo's spirit sense and could accurately change the direction of the corner soul weed. If other people couldn't put spirit sense on their sword ray, they wouldn't be able to do this. Thud. A wave faster than clear weed charged into Yimo's domain. Before Yimo could even react, the power smashed into his chest. Yimo's cultivation essence rustled and almost spat blood. That power changed a direction after knocking him over and disappeared. Domain had a little use on the clear weed but couldn't slow the dark weed at all. So this is dark weed, so powerful. Yimo ate a pill and was shook. This was him. If it was some other person, that strike would either kill or heavily injure the person. Yimo calmed down and tried thinking of a better way. A day later, Yimo entered the Golden Page world to rest. After a day, he had some familiarity with the corner soul weed. He was attacked by darkweed a few times, but they didn't hit him. However, his spirit sense and cultivation essence was very exhausted. Yimo used that corner soul weed Guhajo gave him to recover spirit sense. Yimo rejoiced to find that with his spirit sense being extremely fatigued, and he used corner soul weed to recover and then used purple eye soul sever cultivation method, his spirit sense improved multiple times the speed normally. In a short time, his spirit sense fully recovered and grew stronger. The corner soul weed was very good indeed. He had impure soul nourishing well and knew it wasn't as good as the corner soul weed. The spirit refining pearl was countless times better than corner soul weed, but it was slow to form the soul nourishing liquid. He would get at most 3 drops each year, and that was with adequate spirit chi. He hadn't used the pure soul nourishing liquid yet. He was planning to save up and use bottle by bottle. Yimo came out into the sea corner again. After another day he used countless methods: domain, cultivation, essence, giant hand, octagonal cauldron. None of them could truly stop a group of corner soul weed. They either escaped or was smashed apart. Eventually, even Yimo was planning to forge a net and use the stupid method of catching them. Guhajo's method was stupid but useful. However, it was also dangerous. After catching the corner soul weed, you would be dragged by it for a while, and during this time who knows if another corner soul weed would come attack you. Guhajo knew it was a dangerous method, so he used it near the border of the island. A few more dark figures came and a darkweed came too. Yimo's spirit sense could see it, but after a day, he found some rules. Darkweed was very fast and domain couldn't stop it, but if it came, there would be weak ripples in his domain. At this time, he would have to dodge or he would be hit. Luckily, there weren't a lot of darkweed here. Yimo controlled purple sword rays to hack away the dark figures and suddenly thought of a problem. If there were so many corner soul weed flying around, why does none of them collide into each other? The more Yimo thought, the more he was confused. He would have almost thought they were self-conscious if he didn't get a corner soul weed. The only possibility was that they could sense each other. Yimo thought of this, and when another black figure came he used spirit sense blades and severed everything around it. Yimo was rejoiced to find that the corner soul weed actually slowed down and was tamely caught by Yimo. A perfect good-looking corner soul weed laid peacefully on his hands. With how it nourished his essence spirit, Yimo immediately knew it was many times better than the one Guhajo gave him. So this was it. Yimo held down the excitement in his heart. He should have long thought of using this method, but he only wasted a day. Then, things were easy for Yimo. Yimo went into a frenzy of catching corner soul weed. When a power that his spirit sense could see entered his domain, Yimo knew it was another darkweed. Without hesitation, he used multiple spirit sense blades on it, and that force seemed to have lost its power and slowed down before landing on Yimo's hand. This was Yimo's first time seeing it. It was white like a snow flower and seemed very cute. It was much better for spirit sense than even the good quality clear weed. With this, Yimo no longer had the mood to collect clear weed. He charged into the depth with faster speed to collect dark weed. Luoying was still calm in the sea corner city, but Yayokoi was worried again. She couldn't cultivate. She held Luo Ying's hand and asked worriedly, "Sister Susu, brother Yi had been out for 6 days, he's still not back, would he be okay?" Luo Ying was still calm in the sea corner city, but Yayokoi was worried again. She couldn't cultivate. She held Luo Ying's hand and asked worriedly, "Sister Susu, Brother, ye had been out for 6 days, he's still not back, would he be okay? Luoying smiled. Don't worry, just cultivate, he will definitely come back in these few days. Okay then. Jie Yokui nodded. Before, no one dared to go around where they were, but these 2 days, there were more and more cultivators there. There were even some cauldron-filling state cultivators looking over. City Lord, that Yemo had been out for 6 days, theoretically he should have died at the sea corner, right? There are many cultivators spinning around those 2 girls, should we take? A disaster transformation state cultivator reported to Wang Jing. Idiot! Wang Jing reproached. Seeing that his subordinate didn't understand, Wang Jing said coldly, You can be certain that he's dead with just 6 days? Gu Hezhou stays there catching corner soulweed for a century, did he die? He's at the border of the island. The disaster transformation state explained, but seeing a more contemptuous look from the city lord, he knew that since Gu Hezhou was at the border, who knows if Yemo would go deep? Just when the disaster transformation state cultivator was about to go, another cauldron-filling state came and reported. City Lord, Jiu Hezhou came back to the city. He didn't leave immediately and doesn't seem to intend to. He brought back a news too, that Yemo learned of the benefits of the corner soulweed and went into the depth of the sea corner to hunt corner soulweed. What? Gu Hezhou said Yemo went to the depth of the sea corner? Wang Jing couldn't help getting up. Yes, Gu Hezhou said this indeed, he said went to the depth of the sea corner, and he couldn't stop him. The cultivator quickly replied. The disaster transformation state seemed to want to change the city lord's impression of him, and quickly said, City Lord, now that Yemo isn't here, Wang Jing waved his hand. You've reached disaster transformation state, can you use your brain to think? We don't know if Yemo is dead or not, but so what if he's dead? So what if we let the 2 female cultivators stay for a decade or so? But there are some cultivators walking around their residence, I'm scared someone else would take them first. The disaster transformation state said. Wang Jing was speechless at this disaster transformation state. If this guy wasn't so loyal to him, he would have kicked him away already. You 2 go out, don't bother me with such small things, Wang Jing said. The disaster transformation state came out and looked at the cauldron-filling state in confusion. City Lord doesn't seem to worry at all. Sigh, there are so many cultivators walking around there. Cauldron-filling state shook his head. Manager Wan, you think too much. If anyone dares to touch those 2 female cultivator, City Lord would kick those cultivators away and then protect the 2. He can even bring them back to the City Lord estate to protect them. Disaster transformation state dazed, he finally realized that the City Lord wasn't afraid there would be cultivators trying to take them. He was scared there wouldn't be FCTS trying to touch them. If there were, the City Lord could rightfully protect them. Even if Yemo's not dead, he would only thank the City Lord after coming. Gu Hezhou only told about Yemo after other people asked to break through. After he said it, he realized that Yemo left 2 extremely pretty girls here. This made him regret immediately. Seeing so many cultivators walking around their place, he immediately knew his words weren't good for them. Gu Hezhou had a great impression of Yemo. Yemo was generous and very powerful. If Yemo didn't go to the depth of the sea corner impulsively, he believed he would become very good friends with Yemo. But now, because he leaked the potential death of Yemo, this caused so many cultivators to be watching those 2 female cultivator. He wanted to protect them, but he knew that he couldn't. His power was good, but he wasn't the strongest here. City Lord was Truth Realization State Level 9. There were 2 Truth Realization State Level 7 and 6 from Truth Realization State Level 4 to Level 6. At this moment, Gu Hezhou heard a yell from the extreme grade cultivation artifact home. Move away, if you step in within 100 meters, don't blame me then. Seeing the female cultivator, he finally realized why so many cultivators were coming over. The most precious thing here wasn't corner soulweed but women. This pale yellow-dressed female cultivator would be first-grade beauty even in Luoyu continent, much less here. The female cultivator next to her was also extremely beautiful. It was a disaster transformation state level 2 walking here. He of course heard the news of Yemo too. If he attacked too late, such a woman would belong to someone else. Since that Yemo was dead, he should move quickly. By then, even if a more powerful person wants her, he would have enjoyed her enough and could use her to bargain. Don't be in a rush to attack, this is the Sea Corner City. I didn't go in your house, am I not allowed to walk on the road nearby here? The Disaster Transformation State Level 2 just said this and saw the yellow-robed female cultivator throw down a formation flag. He dazed, and before he could react, his surroundings changed. He couldn't see the female cultivator nor the cultivation home anymore. It was just a white-gray mist around him. Not good, he was in formation, the cultivator realized, and then countless sword rays loomed over him. Level 9 attack formation, one that was set up by EMO. It was impracticable for a Disaster Transformation State Level 2 to escape. In that short time, the Disaster Transformation State Level 2 was turned to a bloody mist in the attack formation. Seeing this, all the other cultivators retreated in fear. Finally, they realized why EMO could leave. This was a Level 9 peak formation. If someone controlled it, even ordinary Truth Realization State cultivators would be killed, much less Disaster Transformation State cultivators. Guhajo breathed easy. It seemed EMO was no ordinary person to leave such a powerful attack formation behind. He quietly went back to his place, with so many spirit stones he could cultivate now. After that, no Truth Realization State cultivator came. Everyone knew that it wasn't that they weren't attractive enough, but the Truth Realization State cultivators weren't in a rush. They could wait. They had been living on here for a few hundred to few thousand years. Of course, what made them wait was EMO's dominance. EMO came and killed Feng Xian and his clonies immediately. Ordinary Truth Realization State cultivators weren't enough to take one punch from EMO. EMO sighed. He felt he collected enough corner soul weed. In this past 10 days he had been going to places with dense clusters of corner soul weed. At the beginning, he collected corner soul weed one by one, but later on, when he got familiar with things, he could collect more than 10 at once. Even the dark weed that other people couldn't see with spirit sense, his spirit sense could sense them now. Seeing the two large piles of clear and dark weed, EMO knew it was time for him to go back. He could stay here to keep collecting corner soul weed, but he felt it wasn't good to stay in Sea Corner for too long. You're tuning into the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.